Gotta take this off mute.
You're not gonna take me off of mute.
My wife wish she had a mute button for me, maybe a volume control.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes,
Awesome.
Austin, you all set? How's it going?
Pretty good. Little technical difficulties here this morning. The internet is out for the whole town. Um, broadband fiber, same issues that we deal with at home.
All it takes is one backhoe to cut the wires and that's about it.
those pesky
Yep.
excavators, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah,
Yep.
let's bring this meeting to order at 8:39. I apologize for being late. I'm trying to do too many things at once. Let's consider the bills and warrants. I had a question on the first one, Willie. Angela's Construction, what was that for?
Oh, that's yard work and senior program.
Okay,
I didn't even know he was still in town, his company still is,
It is company.
okay.
so that was paid for with the remaining grant?
That was all, yeah,
Okay.
it was left over from the snow shoveling budget.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
26083, about all at the bottom, the bill was just comment, the bill was $7,000 for changing our locks.
Yeah,
Yikes.
that's, we changed all the locks in this building and it seems to be working well. So I'm having to do the same thing over at the hospital building.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
We just ran into a case where, and this is what we've been doing since I've been here. Every lock is a separate key. We don't have a master key system over there. And so electrical inspection coming in to check out all the heating stuff, we have to track down everybody key to get into their.
Yeah, there should be a master.
And so, yeah, no, he's gonna upgrade it all and we'll have a master soon.
Okay. Going to the next page, what's EPD bill? What does EPD stand for? So right at the top,
EPD.
6090.
Emergency planning or emergency preparedness. That's Jim's
Okay,
office. Everbridge is the Nixle.
okay. 26114. Are we still paying for the renovation of that one apartment or is this other apartments?
No, we had a couple more tenants move out and we needed to do some replacement of some of the carpeting and flooring.
When these tenants are, in, we're getting a deposit, aren't we?
We do have a deposit.
So that is the deposit helping pay for something?
It pays for some of it, yeah.
Okay,
But
probably not all.
most of these are well, we've been online, 5-6 years now. And so some of these, they're just wear and tear, it's nothing.
Yeah, we
Okay,
can't spend deposits on wear and tear.
okay.
Then those apartments are getting there, they've been around a while now.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you do start seeing
Yeah.
that wear and tear for sure. Just a comment at the bottom, if that was an accident that was on public lands, again, the county is shelling out $3,000 or $4,000 for autopsies and labs and things like that, the things that are happening on public lands. I don't think we should be paying personally. That's it, you guys. That's all I got. Pete, do you have anything else?
I don't have anything.
Hey, Austin, you got anything? Okay.
No, I
entertain a motion.
didn't have any additional questions.
Okay, I'd entertain a motion, okay, the bills and warrants for August 13th, 2025.
I make a motion to consider bills authorized warrants for August 13th, 2025.
Second,
Second.
okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. You have before you, minutes of July 23rd, 2025. Anybody have any questions or corrections?
I don't.
Austin? All right,
No, it looked good to me.
okay.
I'll make a motion
Okay,
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for the regular meeting Wednesday, July 23rd, 2025.
all right.
I'll second it.
Second, all right, all in favor?
I,
All right.
Aye.
First appointment is 8:40, so we're pretty close with Athena from the EPA. Can you-
Should I come to the table?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Thank you, commissioners, for having us here. The EPA has recently awarded our contract for operation and maintenance and finishing up the construction of the Bonita Peak Repository.
Hooray!
Hooray! And so today I have my colleague Julie Babcock here from the Army Corps. She's the project manager there. We work closely together, and I'd like our HGL colleagues to introduce themselves as well.
I'm Elliot Petrie with HCL. I'm the project manager from that company and looking forward to working with some.
Michael Cherny, HCL and project support and those, also looking forward to getting back out there.
Great, and Mark Rudolph is also here from CDPHE. I don't know if you're here for my session or just here.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So, yeah, I just wanted to bring the team here to chat about a few things and what to expect this season. We're hoping to get a light mobilization going toward the end of the month, take Labor Day weekend off because I understand there's some events going on here and it just probably wouldn't be, it would just end up being pretty chaotic to have folks working during Labor Day. And then start our full mobilization after Labor Day weekend. And the things we're intending to get done this year is to move about 300 trucks of sludge from the Gladstone plant to the repository in cell 1. To do that, we just have to construct the ramps and then come up with our traffic control plan to get those trucks here. We have to amend the sludge up at Gladstone before we can transport it in order to avoid liquefaction of the sludge. Like when it gets shaken up in a dump truck, it can liquefy and come out. And so we don't want that.
Throw a little bank card in with that and just. Take care of the road.
It's funny you should say that because this year we have a highway ready water truck that's gonna be on site to do dust suppression for our operations
Okay,
and on the site. So one of the things I'll ask you about a little later is whether or not there's a good place to get water off of County Road 20. But yeah, we'll be doing water.
where's County
Road 20.
Where's that at?
That is on Google Maps and might be incorrect, but it's just south of the power transfer station.
It's 20th Street.
20th Street, okay, yeah, Google
Oh,
Maps says
okay.
County Road 20, but
County Road 20 is,
The.
Right here.
Road above.
okay.
Silver Lakes. Going north.
Usually you guys make arrangements with, Dave Dillon that has that property and set up a water deal there.
that is true. This year, we would like to get it from the BLM land if possible, but if not, then we'd probably make an arrangement.
Well, that 20th Street isn't the BLM land.
It's not,
Mhm.
okay.
No, it's not.
They might.
Do we have a good spot for them so that we can claim credit for our water rights?
Yeah, and that's, they track what they use.
Right,
There you go.
So, yeah, it would be up, 20th Street would be great. That's county, so we're good.
Where exactly is that?
It's where the Lackawanna Bridge used to be.
Oh, you just pull down to the river and pump it right there,
Right.
okay, alright.
yeah, that's what the guys are thinking of doing. So if it's okay, we'll continue to keep track of the water usage
Oh,
and report it.
that helps us a lot.
Great, okay. And then we also plan for about 1,000 trucks of aggregate coming from both the Uncompahgre pit and the Upper Animas sand and gravel if that all works out. So it'd be about 1,000 trucks between the two, and we may not get to all of them this season, but that's kind of the order. And it'll be very similar to the last couple of years. I know you probably weren't keeping track of the number of trucks, but you were probably keeping track of, tonnage, or at least I was tracking it for you. And so that's kind of it. It'll be very similar for road usage. The difference will be that our contract this year has a monthly payment for the ordinances and the resolution. So for road usage rather than last time we had to modify that in, and I believe everyone was paid, so.
Yeah.
It'll be pretty similar except for monthly basis, yeah, yeah, right, good. So I'm sure that I missed something, oh yeah. I remember what it is. We'll be working through when we can't work anymore this season, probably sometime in November, 6 days a week schedule as usual. And the site superintendent will be Byron Hartman once again, so we'll be getting his contact information sent to those who need it, who don't have it already, and he knows the drill of working here. We'll also have Jameel Hubbard on site again from the Army Corps, and he was, really well liked and communicative, so I think that'll be good. The second question I had, which you don't have to have an answer for today, is we're gonna be putting up a permanent fence around the leachate pond, which is what you can see from the waste transfer station.
What we're seeing right now.
Yeah, what you're seeing right now. So we're gonna put a permanent fence there. Right now, it's temporary fence to prevent, animals from getting in and people as well drowning in leachate. So wondering what you think about the slats that we put on cell one. Should we leave the slats out? It will be chain link as well for the leachate pond.
What's the least visible?
I'd say without slats is, well, with the slats, you're still gonna, well, without the slats, you will still see the fence, but with the slats, the color blends in a little bit more.
Yeah,
Is there any way we could pull that fence 25 feet in where it's not what you see when you're looking into the mountains as you're driving in and out of the community?
yeah, setback, sometimes I think that's a good idea.
I mean, I mean, we have the visual corridors here. I realize those are tailings, but I mean, I know some people where I grew up love chain link fences, but they're really not the most appealing.
Yeah, we can see how far we can pull it back, but it is going right up to the pond right now, so. There may be some limitations on getting 25 feet back. It might be close. We can, yeah,
I'm using an arbitrary number. The idea is that when people are driving in and out of town, they don't see a big chain link. So if we can keep from that happen. I realize coming into town, they're gonna be able to see when they're off to the right, leaving town, it would be nice to lose.
Are you guys gonna do anything like planting to disguise it? I mean, now's not the time to be planting trees because of the drought, but I mean, could you guys plant trees, willows, around the edges of that fence? That
We
would
could
help.
try
That would help break up.
Yeah, we could
monotony,
try.
something like that. And I think.
see
it
if
would be
they'll grow.
They'll probably have to be watered is the only problem, this in today's time, so. But, that would be a nice way to break up, the monotony of a fence or something that you.
I agree,
We do have, revegetation in the contract, and it was more focused around like grass and wildflowers, but we could probably add that, I think we could add that in,
I think so, too. Yeah, and we'll try to figure out what would actually grow up there. I know we tried to plant some trees that we had to remove from the top on the slope, and I don't think a lot of them made it. No, I don't think so either, so. We can see about what kind of trees might actually live and what kind of bushes might
They
actually
they
live.
need water is the main thing, you can't just plant them and.
Right,
Seem, I mean, if Sunnyside had watered their tailings ponds, I think we'd have a lot more grass.
right.
Whoever's, I know if we could just talk to some local people or talk to me and then know, a lot of people have come here and spent a lot of money only to find out that it didn't do anything. If it's gonna be an investment, it should be. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that sounds,
How tall is the fence gonna be?
oof, is it 6 feet? Yeah, 6 foot, yeah,
My concern with that is just a 6 foot fence isn't really tall enough to prevent elk from getting in and deer. So if you're concerned about animals drowning in the pit, that 6 feet may not be enough. And that's the kind of the historic winter range for elk that come down.
yeah, we've
too.
seen some sign up there even with the construction, not as much as last time I was up here, but.
They like.
There's some old stein there.
They love pond
They
pour
just-
in the
they
winter.
like to-
And that's their normal, like, natural migration.
Yeah, the fence might be 8 foot.
Yeah.
I'm just, yeah, I forget off the top of my head.
It's a good point, Austin. I'll go for an 8 footer.
Well. I don't know, the fences that when you're going down to Montrose, between Ridgeway and Montrose, those are like,
Those are 8 feet at least.
those are what are used, that's the type of fence that's used.
Right.
To keep animals out.
It might be 8 feet, I just can't remember right now, and when I was out there yesterday, I thought, okay, maybe it's more than 1 foot taller than me, so, yeah.
This is just a question for you guys. Does that type of fencing, the game fencing, look better than a chain link or a slat link? Cause you don't really, the game fences down below are they're visible, but not. They got big squares, so you can
Yeah.
see through them. I wonder if that would be a better choice for up there.
Can a person get through a game fence?
No.
Okay, well then,
The squares are about like that.
Okay.
No,
I've never stopped and looked.
Yeah, if you see the.
yeah, if you go to Uriah Ridgeway or
Yeah.
any place else, you see brand new ones there.
Yeah,
Right.
I think they're less
In there.
intrusive especially than what's up there. I mean, all you see is big
We
colored
can
lines
consider that.
across.
I think that's something we. can
Anything's better
consider.
looking than chain link.
Yeah.
It is less visually, and if it keeps people out physically, then
Yeah,
it will meet the needs as well, so.
I think they have a longer lifespan too than chain.
Absolutely.
The problem.
We've seen that, the chain link.
Chain link is,
Oh. Yeah, we've had problems already with the gate.
the snow load will hold it down.
Although, well, it's not down in tailings, but anywhere where the tailings down in pyrite, it's gonna rot them, just like they did at the mill.
Mhm.
So it's a historical site, yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, if you guys could do a game fence instead, I think that's a much better idea. Aesthetic, they look a lot better.
Yeah.
I'm just really glad that there's an alternative. That might be their needs. Okay, we'll look into that.
What's that?
Appreciate that feedback.
It's game fence, like,
Anything
you
else
got game
for-
fence, is what they call it.
I don't think so. I think the main point here was just to come before you, asking a few questions and to see what other questions you all have before we get started.
I don't have any more questions. I did ask Joy this, why.
She's here too, kind of.
Oh, she is. I asked Joy, why we're even bothering to do this late mobilization and she did say it's because you guys gotta get some sludge out of there. If you didn't have to get the sludge out of there, I would have said, don't do the mobilization. It was so expensive to do a mobilization, especially a mobilization. It's not even starting till the end of the month or
I
something
know.
like that. We lost, May, June, July, August. That's not you guys' fault on some of this, so. But it is expensive to do these full mobilizations, and I think it would have been better for the taxpayers. If we could have just put this off till next year, but started with the contract that started like in May or something like that.
Yeah, I think we'll still realize some benefits from ticking off some of our to-do list this year, and then, the sludge is definitely, it's a
Seemed
need.
like the big factors.
It's a
You've run out of room, so you gotta.
I'm gonna go the other direction, and when we had our barbecue and stuff, you guys were kind of thinking that you would get this project done this year. You still feel that way?
In terms of the actual construction
repository?
elements, I
Yeah.
know. We're gonna start using cell one. I think we're still gonna have some things to do next year. And that includes the replacement of the culvert at the Galvin Spring.
That was my next question.
Yeah, that's next year. We cannot possibly coordinate that this year because it's kind of a massive closure for, just for this area. It would be short, but it's just, if we don't coordinate that and plan that in advance, so we thought
Good.
we'd punt that as well as the other.
So you
stormwater.
feel maybe that with this work you do that you can get a lot of it done before you can at least use it this year, get some sludge up there, and then
Yeah.
next year you can finish it?
Yes, that's the whole picture here, yeah. And we're hoping not to go a full season with that next year, but you'll still see people moving sludge and starting operations this
Okay.
year and continuing to next
On the
year.
moving sludge, are you guys using, what kind of trucks are you using? 10-wheelers? I've moved sludge. We've been involved in sludge to the Kitty Mac and
Mhm.
it's pretty pretty nasty process on the road, so. Are
really.
you guys using, what kind of trucks are you using on that?
I will defer to Elliot.
Right now, I believe it'll be similar to what was done on the Payback project several years ago with the off-road articulatings. But it'll be the 20 yard or smaller still.
Okay, so rock trucks, articulating trucks, not 10-wheel drive dumps.
You know, I'll have to verify that, but.
That would be good for the county to know, because we definitely need to know.
Yeah, we also might not be allowed to use the
Speaking about as
articulating
far as
on
weight
the,
and
on
stuff
the
like that.
asphalt.
Alright,
Yeah, I will verify that and let her.
Yeah.
okay, because it'd definitely be, because we have, ordinances in place and stuff for those trucks, so we definitely be involved in that process. When you agree, Dennis?
Well, yeah, we have our ordinance that talks about unusual hauling and things like that, so if you could check with Willie and make sure you guys are in compliance with that, or if you need to fill out an application to get a permit for
Probably do.
limited use of the articulating trucks. You know, we have another gentleman that's been asking to use articulating trucks, and he was looking for more of a blanket use, and I think what he was told is if he had a specific project that he wanted to apply for the use for that project, they could. So I think the county would like to hold you to the same standard. If you have a specific time frame that you want to use those rock trucks at a route, then please let us know, and then we'll see if we can approve that. Does that make sense, Willie?
Yeah, and Rusty said he would have it, so he's.
Yeah.
Main,
Didn't see it.
main road guy.
How's that sound?
Yeah, we have a articulated rock truck permit. And so we can, it's just a 1 gauge permit, but it's just, so we know what bridges you're driving across, how heavy you are, fully loaded, all of that. We have a few bridges, that can't take a rock truck fully loaded. And so we need to know where they're going. And then we have a couple culverts that can't take one fully loaded. So that's the whole idea behind the rock truck permit. Is so if something was seriously damaged to the road, then we know what the cause of the damage was.
And am I speaking correctly to your understanding that we're doing specific permits for
Yeah.
specific hauls?
Right, it's just for that one-time job, that one specific job. It's not like a blanket permit.
And then is that going directly to Road and Bridge then and not through you, Willie?
Generally the permits have gone through me first and then I get them to Rusty, but he, as far as the logistics and stuff, he's the one that.
So we could work with Rusty and then loop you in, or send to you first and then loop Rusty in. Okay,
I mean, yeah,
Because you're doing you're doing traffic control, right?
yes,
You'll definitely want to get with Rusty on that too, so.
yes, and for the haul route, we're thinking of. Not coming into the town and going to the stop sign, we're thinking of going up over the hill.
The truck.
The bypass,
Yeah, the bypass,
okay.
seems like the.
Oh, no,
Oh, yeah.
we want you to take.
No, yeah,
Yeah,
that's,
okay,
that was.
I'm glad that that's,
That's what it's for.
I'm glad, we
That's what it's
definitely,
designed for.
yeah, there's a blind left turn there that will probably have. Somebody,
You'll have,
working.
Oh, yeah.
that's a bad spot right
it's a
there.
pretty bad spot, so. Okay,
I had a question, if you don't mind. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Corps of Engineers,
Sure.
are you guys still in Durango?
Are we still in Durango?
Yeah,
Your office still in Durango?
there's some folks still down there. as far
There
as I
might
know.
be, I honestly don't work with anyone out of Durango, I actually work out of the Omaha district office. But I'm sure they probably are, we're all.
No, I just saw that they suddenly had their lease terminated, and I'm just wondering if they were still around there or if they were dodged out.
They're pretty hard to get a hold of down there.
I mean, I can ask around if that's something that if you're someone you're looking to get hold of from there.
No, I can make a
Wetlands
call, I
people?
just thought, yeah, maybe you would know, that's all
I
right.
think that office is out of Albuquerque district as well, so it's technically this site is in our Albuquerque. Or is it Sacramento district? Our lines are, we like to make
That's
sure
right.
it's confusing.
I understand, they
So-
were such a good office recently for me just to work with, that I hope they're still around. Cause they've been
I
great,
don't mind asking, I can ask around a little bit and see.
I can call, don't worry.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, I think the Durango office like handled more so wetland,
It's probably a regulatory.
issues, yeah, I've worked with them a couple of times,
Okay.
Bridges,
bridges,
Okay.
yeah, they're really good on bridges.
Yeah.
Another quick question for you. Are you guys gonna put the mats down so that stuff isn't coming out on the road?
Yeah.
By the tailings. pond
Last
there?
year we were asked to do that while we were, because we're not paving that this year. But we are still gonna pave the access ramp. Last year we put out, like tire cleaning mats. All of it out there, and then there was some requirement to clean the road pretty regularly, because stuff would still come out. Even with the mats.
Yeah, that's probably been our plan, I can just make sure that the road is probably.
So maybe when you do the culvert. You can pave that and pave your apron there.
Yeah,
Is that
exactly,
what you're thinking?
exactly,
It's a good idea.
and that's all the asphalt we're really doing now, that's changed. So.
You have any extra county road too, could use a little bit.
Resurfacing,
That'd be great.
okay, rusty.
Okay, if nobody has any more questions, thanks for coming, you guys.
Thanks for having us, and
Yep.
we're always available if anything else comes up,
Yep.
so. Thanks.
All right, our next appointment is with Rusty Melcher, our county road supervisor. How's it going, Rusty?
Good, how about you guys?
Doing good.
Sorry, I still haven't gotten the monthly report together. I'm gonna probably just do all the summer. At once.
Yeah,
Been pretty
no,
busy.
Just get your hands full.
So I sent you guys all the photo of Dave's thing. You guys all are okay with that?
Yeah. I am.
And the tread is part of
I
it too.
think it looks great, Rusty.
Yeah, pretty cool idea.
Yeah.
It's gonna be on BLM land, is that where that's gonna go? That's the question I had is.
That is the question.
Is, who's.
Isn't that county road right away?
I guess
That
it's
is the question.
right.
So it's going.
Yeah.
On the top of Cinnamon where the old OHV information sign was.
Oh, yeah.
And I talked to Don out of Hinsdale, he's the one that put that up, he says, he talked to Robert, that is in. That's right between the two counties, the county line's actually gonna split right in the middle of it. I talked to Megan, she's, it sounds like everything's starting to get going on it, she's gonna make it a priority, cause I do wanna put it up this summer. I also talked to Dawn on it, the one thing that I wanted to add about the treads, that, we're gonna share this with, Hinsdale County. Is that any, county road and bridge employee for San Juan County or Hinsdale that did a career. The idea is we could take one of the track pads off. CNC their name, their years of service, and then rebuild the track pad back on. And
Nice.
so we could add more plaques to it as the track pads over the years if we wanted to.
Cool idea.
And so Don was very supportive of it and said that the commissioners over there were real supportive of it going in there too, so. Cause it is gonna be half on there right away, so.
Do we, so can we just do this without permission from BLM or anything like that? Or-
As long as Megan is working with Rusty.
Okay,
I will just.
we'll just do it. I think that's a good idea.
We closed the little giant road yesterday. It's gotten worse since me and you went and looked at it. I ramped it up yesterday and we're hauling the excavator up there today. We're gonna start pulling some of the rock down, some of the loose rock. We got a credit app filled out with F&M mining supply right now, but haven't gotten approved. We're gonna go ahead and just drill this in the next week or two, and then we'll get the Dex pan from them once we got our credit app. The Dex pan, I've researched it a lot, looks to be some pretty incredible stuff. One pallet's $5,000 and they'll do 1,600 linear feet. Me and Willie talked about it, we're gonna buy half a pallet and try this stuff and see how it works, but yeah, just so everyone knows, we're gonna keep that road closed until we get it fixed. It's.
Is that hole getting bigger?
It got a lot bigger. I think part of the problem is there's no moisture in the ground, and so nothing's staying bound together, and it just keeps sloughing off and sloughing off, and it's to the point now, I measured from the rock to the edge of the hole, and there's 7 foot 4 inch, so
Yeah.
that's not a whole lot of room. So yeah, just, it might make some people upset, but it's
Just an accident waiting to happen.
It's a huge accident waiting to happen, so we are gonna have it closed. We're also, gonna keep, the Mayflower Road closed through the next week. Since we're in the area, we're gonna go clean the rock off that road. There's some big boulders in the middle of that road.
Like on the main switchback. that goes
Yeah, on the
up.
switchback.
And are you gonna keep it open all the way to the top?
We were gonna keep it open all the way to the top. I mean, it just, if we don't, then everyone parks in the middle of the road. And
Yeah.
if we keep it open at the top, then everyone parks at the top, and
Sure.
it makes more sense, it seems like, so,
Marvin's like it, so.
yeah.
I went up there with Russ,
Hey,
you got, the hole is, it's getting, but I mean, it's getting dangerous, it's getting more than narrow.
On the little giant road?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can believe it, yeah.
Yeah, we have a 50-ton H-beam that I put in the shop a few days ago, the old shop here. We're gonna weld some plates on it, and we're gonna bury it in the ground and bolt it through the rock with 6-foot split sets. Four 6-foot split sets on each side, and then we're gonna backfill all of that. And we're putting that in as just a huge beam. It'll hold 100,000 pounds, so it'll hold a dozer or anything else that when we drive up that road. So, and then we're gonna break out some of the inside, but we're gonna take the excavator up there today and see what loose rock we can take out of there with the excavator
up top.
But
Yeah.
you dig quite a bit.
Yeah, yesterday I built about a 20-foot high ramp with the tractor, so that I'm ramped all the way up to the top of the rock now. And then so I'll get up there at the excavator and just start pulling off whatever I can get.
Careful.
Yeah, it's slow going work, very slow
Yeah,
going.
yeah, definitely need that road closed while you're doing all that stuff.
Yeah, I can't deal with the public and do this at the same time, so,
It's too dangerous.
yeah.
Hey, Rusty, there was a property owner, who recently purchased, one of the mine sites up there, and I think they were talking about trying to come before us. Maybe Willie's heard of this too, and do some kind of restoration work on one of the mines up there. Have they contacted you at all? I talked to a realtor and said that if they were planning on doing some work up there, they probably should talk to you pretty quickly.
Probably talk to CDPHE and things like that.
I think
Or-
it's more historic, restoration stuff of structures up there, not really mining related stuff. So, but I'm sure, I mean, they probably should be talking to you guys at the Historic Society as well. But
And
I
they
mean,
probably should have,
any work, I think any work is going to have to come through the board too here. So I'm just curious if anybody's talked to these folks, because I know that I was given the impression that they were going to try and do some work in potentially in September.
should probably talk to Willie first before they do any.
It's,
Yeah.
Turning of earth.
I've got an application who will come to planning commission next week.
Okay.
And I've talked to Willie about it, and I knew about that. That's part of the reason we're doing this now, is we want to do the lift to County Road 2, but there's still so much traffic that when we go to do this lift to County Road 2, we're going to do it after Labor Day, is what I'm hoping for. And so I kind of switched gears over the Little Giant Road for now, because I'd like to get that road back open for hunting season, because it's such a popular place during hunting.
Sure.
So that's kind of why we switched it over, but also because so much of the road fell out, it kind of made it priority at the moment too.
I'd say it's your biggest priority right now, or somebody.
Yeah.
can get
It's
it.
not safe right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, I'm hoping that, we'll work on it this week and next week, and then the week after that, we're gonna drill it. And then we're gonna reopen the road. We'll not reopen it for the public, but we're gonna pull the ramps out and everything. And as soon as we get the Dex pan from F&H Mine Supply, we're gonna go up and dump it in the holes and break it. And I'm hoping to get that road open around Labor Day is my goal.
All right. Got anything else for us, Rusty?
Yeah, we did the interviews. Me, Willie and Pete did, and all came to a conclusion, and I'd like to propose to hire Daniel. I am not gonna pronounce his last name right, just Daniel. Yeah.
It's Bechtel.
Is this the?
Say it again, Austin.
Fourth man that were?
No.
Third man.
Just to
Third
re-
man.
It's Bechtel.
Still, Matthew's position.
Oh, okay.
Third
That's
man.
great.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's been in the water truck now with us for 2 summers and
He's been a part-time employee. so
Yeah,
we're
Okay,
bumping him
so,
up.
no, that'd be great.
is that okay with the board?
What we need is a motion
Oh,
to
we need a motion.
confirm hiring Daniel Bechtel
Daniel back.
for the road and bridge.
Okay, I don't have a problem with that. Is there any more discussion? We need that third man, so, I'd entertain a motion to hire Daniel Bechtel.
I'll second it.
No, somebody has to make the motion.
Oh, I'll make the
I'll-
motion to hire Daniel Bechtel,
Second?
All right, I'll second.
All in favor?
right?
Aye.
All right, that's great. I'm glad you got the help coming on, so.
Yeah, we actually have some good candidates, because he's been working for different, I mean, it
Makes sense.
just made sense that, if anybody that can put up with pressure, we figured.
Well, plus he's already been helping you with the County Road 2 gravel project, right? As far as trucking and loader and things like that, so he's starting to work and he's got a lot to learn, but he's starting to get in there, right?
Yeah, I mean, I put him in an excavator and made him walk it down from Animas Forks and no problems at all. And he's willing to jump in whenever it's raining and help with other things. And it just, yeah, it made a lot of sense.
Is that a form of punishment?
Kind of.
Walking the excavator to the end of the
Yeah.
process.
More of
More of a
test.
task.
It's more of a test of nerves, I guess.
That's a task.
Yeah, if you could walk it through that little cliff area right there, you can do it. you know?
While you're on that subject, I'm gonna bring it up. I was just up there with, with all 3 of us up at the Columbus, and these guys have done some nice work on Animas Forks. Some of those huge, nasty rock areas, right before Pecune and whatever. These guys, I think you got a little more work you're gonna do, but
Oh, that.
They've really
Area
improved.
right next to the river, that's kind of like that,
Well,
just solid rock.
yeah,
Yeah.
they've improved that area and a couple other areas that are, makes it a lot nicer.
Oh, that's great.
Well, and that's the big thing with this Dex pan too. I was talking to Willie, I'm gonna rent a Hilti rotary hammer drill, the biggest one they make. And it's a corded electric drill, and we're gonna drill a few holes up there on the little giant road and see if this will work. Cause if it does, a lot of those rocks and a lot of these roads, we already have a generator. We can put a generator in the bed of the truck, buy one of those drills, have a few boxes of Dex pan, and one guy can go out. and start breaking-
Drive up and do it.
and start breaking rocks in these roads, these bigger rocks where we can't find material to fill them in and the trucking just kills us.
Sure.
That's kind of the option we're at is we gotta break the rock now because we don't have anywhere to get dirt to fill them in at.
Right, all the dirt's been spun off.
The reason we went up there was,
You wanted to look at that machine that was
yeah.
making gravel out of rocks.
It's a pretty impressive piece of equipment.
It worked?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Wow.
Went right through the rock, and actually if and he's proposing to get a little different machine with a turbo. I think with a different machine, it would be, even better,
Yeah.
but it still did the job.
Yeah.
And
Did he get a chance to stop at Anvil or not?
he called me, he had to move out of there. I was trying to catch him to see how we're doing in the Fair Creek at Anvil,
That's a good idea.
but he didn't have a chance to. But he said next season, when he has that new machine, he'll do a demo for free. At the Fair Creek at Anvil, because if that goes through the Fair Creek.
Yeah.
And make that into gravel, that'd be impressive.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that conglomerate, as you know, is nasty,
Nasty
nasty
stuff.
hard.
Yeah.
All right.
Mark was the one that put that project together, or was supervising it.
Columbus.
What did you think
Yeah.
of it?
I wasn't able to watch it go because I was out of town. But I was up there day before yesterday and it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had him kind of, that he was digging a drainage ditch, right?
Yeah, he was extending that added discharge ditch, so it drops down to the animus and not overflowing and flow
Okay,
through that upland vegetation.
yeah, you don't wanna.
But the cool thing is,
Yeah.
I mean, he had, solid big rocks that he had to go through, and it just made it just right through them.
Wow.
I've got a video of it. I wanna see it sometime.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was pretty impressive.
The other thing that I was gonna ask you, are you done or,
No, go ahead.
no, do you wanna bring up this, I guess we can't until, he writes up a proposal for this gravel thing, right?
Yeah, I mean,
You don't have a proposal or anything else, right?
he just sent me an email of the same text that he sent you and me. About it, but it's something that I think, yeah, I mean, we could sit down and talk about it. With him here and I just my biggest thing is if he takes our gravel by the yard, then our gravel's returned by the yard. If he takes it by the ton, then it's returned by the ton, but I don't want it where we're switching gravel from yard to ton, cause
Big difference.
yeah, it never works out. Unless we're switching by the yard and he's delivering, or we're switching by the ton, he's delivering by the yard, I'd take that deal. So.
He's losing 1.5 every time he does that, yeah.
So, yeah, Tony wants to, switch out the gravel pile we have at Eureka is not the best gravel for the roads, cause it
Right.
doesn't have any binder in it. And he wants that gravel, so he's willing to buy it from us at what it cost us to make. And in return, he would do all the trucking, as from my understanding on it, I could be wrong about that, but he'd do all the trucking to switch it out with class 6 that he already has. The class 6 is what we put down wherever we mag this year. It is a lot better. It's 10 times the product. Oh, it's,
Yeah.
I mean, I drove in this morning and there's still no dust where that mag is,
Wow.
so, I'm willing to entertain it and listen to it. I also wanna know what you guys think on it, but yeah,
But we kind of need it in writing to pass around and
Have to have a
We
contract.
take a look, yeah.
Almost has to be
A
a
contract,
contract.
yeah,
We don't,
and,
probably shouldn't be discussing it until we actually get.
right, and we need Dennis to look at it and everything else, right?
Okay.
okay.
Got it.
Anything else for me?
Can't think of anything, just be careful on that little giant job for sure.
I'm making everyone even wear hard hats on it, so.
That steep slope above.
Do you, with this little giant, this other work, do you still anticipate doing, night work on County Road 2? And if so, are you gonna, obviously let the homeowner know what that schedule is?
Yeah, I mean, and the thing with it is like, even with the night work on it, that's kind of why I keep pushing it back is, in the morning I see 30 people headed out that way at 4:45, 5 in the morning. And it's like, that's why I've been kind of pushing this back is because I'm trying to hope that the numbers will eventually get down and this.
Right.
If it gets to the point where there's not very much traffic, I'm gonna try to do it during the day. And it'll just be like 30-minute closures, 20-minute closures, then we'll let traffic through. If not, we'll do it at night, but,
You thinking about after Labor Day or?
we ain't doing nothing till after Labor Day. We are gonna go through next week. And in the ditch, there's a bunch of like little trees and bushes. We're gonna pull all those out in the next week or so. We can't have that in the bank when we pull it over, cause then we'll fight it the whole way across the road. So we're gonna get the vegetation pulled off the shoulder in the next week. And then we're just prepping it. And then it's kind of just seeing how the summer's gonna go or the fall's gonna go with the traffic and everything else, and that's kind of the plan. And we might still do night on it, but since this thing opened up more, I kind of flip-flop the two around.
Sure, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. So, but still planning to do that. The last 3 large projects I'm trying to get done this summer is Days Memorial, the lift by Middleton on County Road 2, and get the little giant road done. That's kind of where we're hoping to get those 3 done before winter.
Live by Middleton, meaning just bringing the road out just a little bit.
Yeah, where it's like sloughed off,
Really
just
get that-
leveling it
We
back
get that
out.
puddle and stuff all the time.
Well, and just also where like it's just being eaten into a swamp, just lifting that outside shoulder up. I have a transit and I've shot grade on it. You never realize it when you're driving it, but once you get a transit out and you shoot grade, that road is sloped off 8 feet lower in some places than the upper side of the
It's
road.
almost reverse super elevation.
Yeah,
It can
exactly.
be,
So
right?
I had Dirk go and measure out what our right of way is and give me grade stakes, so I know
Right.
where our easements are. And yeah, we're gonna be pulling about 7 to 8 feet of that inside bank out and lifting some of that outside shoulder 7 to 8 feet high. So,
Right, just for the heck of it, let BLM know that you're gonna be working there, even though it's in our right of way, I'd still let them know, just that,
Okay.
I don't know, maybe not,
Yeah, but
I don't know what you
I
guys
mean,
think.
it's kind of right away.
It's
I
county
don't know if they,
right away,
that if they need to, yeah, I mean,
Okay.
we can be courteous, yeah, sure.
yeah.
Courteous is always
let 'em
good.
know.
Just tell them that you're doing it, just so it doesn't, I don't know.
What if they say don't?
Yeah, that's, there we go.
Just a thought.
So maybe not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
I
that's
just
it.
one opinion, Pete, Austin,
Yeah, it's your
what do
mom.
you guys think?
If it's a, I don't know. What do you think, Pete?
I think it's county right away. I mean, letting them know, being courteous is fine, but you're not,
We don't have to
we're
have-
not asking for them to check a box, yes or no.
We don't have to have their permission.
That sounds
This-
reasonable. I mean, and if they,
I think if you send them a heads up email or something.
yeah,
that
always
we're
good
gonna be
to keep the
working-
communication open.
We're gonna be working in the right of way, in the county road right of way, this certain area.
That's what we're doing, and this is why we're doing it.
And that's
I think
it.
it's just more
Courteous,
courteous.
yeah.
And
And
I,
it keeps that reform.
Yeah.
and I can,
I'm-
I can do that, but I also already did put all that together in that paragraph that, got put out to the public about the work we were gonna do, in the beginning of the summer. I mean, I could contact them directly and let them know, but, I have put that out to the public. It's not like a, blindsided thing or something, so.
You could just send that email. You could
Just
send that to them.
contact Megan and, John and just quick, just to.
Yeah,
Just
You're already-
keep- I mean, we asked BLM to, keep us in
Yeah,
one fund.
yeah,
You're already
Just-
working.
absolutely.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, just a courtesy.
just to let you know,
Yeah.
here's our plans, this is what we'll be
Absolutely.
working on, so if you see.
If you see
equipment out there,
equipment, or,
Right,
yeah,
Okay,
That makes sense.
okay.
I just wouldn't pose it in terms of asking them, just
No,
notifying them
not
that
a
we're going.
request,
I wouldn't either.
it's a notification.
shouldn't have, an ask,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's fine.
And then as far as that goes, once you do nail down that timeline, day or night or whatever, I think the homeowners and business people just need to know.
It'll be,
Even more than that.
I've been working on getting the BMS signs going. And, when we do it, we'll have signs out there 2 weeks in advance. So it's like, even people staying at Eureka Campground will get a chance to read that sign and know like, oh, these dates, there's gonna be heavy construction work on this road and.
Campground, animals forage people, weddings up there,
Yeah, I'll let everyone.
homeowner.
Yep, I'll do that. All
That's all I
right.
got.
Thanks, Rusty.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks.
Did you need something else?
Did you have something else, Austin? For Rusty?
No, I was just gonna say, I think it's a good idea just to give a little courtesy heads up that you're executing the work that you have proposed in the springtime to do. So
Okay. Yeah, no problem.
thanks.
All righty. Well,
Wait,
thanks, guys.
Thanks, Rusty.
Yeah, thank you guys.
All right, our 9:30 appointment has shown up, so see you guys.
Yeah.
Yep, hi Martha.
Good morning.
Here, you can come up too if you want. Okay, all right. So we have Martha Johnson from Social Services. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me as always. Hello, Commissioner Lashley. I guess I should look this way. It's like,
Check.
so let's see.
I've got a few things today. Start with the financials for June. And they look a little different than usual, so I'll explain the first page.
Bigger.
Yes, they are bigger, so I'll explain what that is all about. The end result is just fine. There's just some big numbers in there. So with the state year-end close, we always have some different expenses going on. And so on the transmittal number 6, the first 2 lines are the normal ones. San Juan County is Chrissy's benefits, wages, taxes, that kind of thing. And the La Plata County line for 5,500 is La Plata County staff time to do the things that Chrissy doesn't handle, and also that $2,000 that goes to support therapeutic services that run through the school. So then the big lines are the payment to the Silverton Public Schools. That was the second half of the contract we have with them.
The TANF funds.
That's what it's been in the past, but actually we got a much bigger increase in our child welfare funding last year, and we can use our child welfare funds for that. So that actually went through child welfare this year. So then we were able to save those TANF funds, which
Is a good thing.
that is a good thing. And then the Silverton Family Learning Center, that is paid through the TANF funds. And so that was the second payment for the contract we have with them for the year. And so that was the total of 16,000 for that for the year. And then the big payment to La Plata County, we did something different this year, which I've never thought of before, but I'll probably continue to do it because it helps it helps La Plata County not have such a big county share. It does increase Silverton's San Juan County's county share. So our adult protection allocation for both counties is not big enough to support the staff. That's an issue statewide, that the adult protection allocation is overspent every year statewide. And that's really because it's one of the smaller programs, and so it doesn't get as much focus through the legislature and through the Joint Budget Committee. And so when other things get increased, like the funds for SNAP and Medicaid or child welfare, which are the bigger programs, then adult protection kind of doesn't get increases. And so through La Plata County, we have 3 caseworkers and a part-time manager in adult protection. And those people also cover San Juan County when things come up. And we typically get, I'm just guessing here because I did not look this up, 3 to 4 things during the year that someone needs to come up and get with a at-risk adult and see what's going on, make a plan with the community. And so to try to offset that underfunding, we actually charge part of that salary to our San Juan County allocation this year, because we do have San Juan County allocation that doesn't get all the way used up. And so because we paid that salary through La Plata County, then at year end, San Juan County drew down the money and then passed it through to San Juan. So it was a pass through. It was charged to San Juan County got the money and then passed it through the La Plata County. So that's probably something I'll do going forward, which does increase the San Juan County share a little bit because that funding is 80-20. So it was about $4,000. And I'll keep an eye on that as far as how our county funding looks and our fund balance this year. It seems to be fine. It was more a strategy to not have such a big hit on La Plata County's fund balance, since those people provide services to both counties. So that's the first page. Any questions about that? Because that was something I haven't done before. So then the second page, as always, the best news is the bottom row, second column over from the right, where our profit or loss for the year so far is. And so through June, we were $4,118 in the black. And so our income was greater than our expenses. And that's fairly typical. I went back and looked over the last several years. Some years it's a little higher, some years it's a little lower. So we're in really good shape for the rest of the year. And so then the rest of the expenses all just reflect those things we already talked about on the first page. June is always a big month, June and December, because those are the ends of the 2 fiscal years. And so that's where we do a lot of the getting the expenses from our 2 contracts and then making sure we take care of closeout. So any questions about that page? And then the last page just shows the state fiscal year and how we were at the end of the state fiscal year. So this was 0 part of the year remaining. And as you can see in the column, it says percent of funding remaining. We were well above or even with everything. The core 100% were a little over. That's because then it switches over to the 80-20. And the LEAP, we're right on track because we don't really spend any more LEAP funds in
Right.
August and September. We'll start again in October, which is the new fiscal year. So our financials look good, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Pete or Austin, do you have any questions for Martha?
I don't.
I do not, Martha. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'd entertain a motion to accept transmittal number 6 in the amount of 51,55704.
I'll make the motion.
So moved.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
I'll second it.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Are you signing things today, Scott?
I have.
Okay, I'll switch it so it doesn't say Austin, but we can do it by
Okay.
hand. So if you sign it, that's
Just
great.
sign it right here.
Yeah, where that box is.
Okay,
It doesn't have to be in the box, just around the box is fine.
there you go.
Great, thanks. And then I'll change that and I'll get it faxed to you, or not faxed, scanned. Boy, that was a blast from the past. I won't fax it to you. So the next thing is the Medicaid incentives contract governmental agreement, which we talked a little bit about last month. And Dennis had already approved it, but I wasn't organized enough to actually have it on the agenda. So the Medicaid incentives agreement is that very long document. What that does is every year there's a number of measures that healthcare policy and financing keeps track of for counties. And if we meet them, then we get some incentive funds at the end of the year for having met them. So this year that just ended, because of meeting our measures, San Juan County earned $3,542.98. And so that offsets the county share. And so it basically zeroes out the county share, which is great. And so then the incentives for this coming year are similar to last year's. The performance compliance incentive, that's about in Medicaid being accurate and being timely in determining people's eligibility. So that one is pretty typical every year. There's a customer service incentive, which they've had for a couple of years now. I don't know if you've ever noticed outside Chrissy's door, there's a kind of orange colored poster with a QR code on it, and people can scan that into their phones and then say, basically, did they have a good experience with human services or social services as far as were they dealt with timely, were they dealt with respectfully, that kind of thing. And so depending upon our scores on that, we get some incentive funding. And then the county collaboration incentive is a new one this year. And that will be something that we'll do jointly, at least between San Juan and La Plata. And we may do it jointly between all 5 of our Southwest counties, because we have to have at least 2 meetings with what's called the case management agency, which is Community Connections. And they're the ones who we work really closely with for long-term care services. So people who need nursing homes or home health care or that kind of thing. There's some concern at the state level that counties and the case management agencies aren't collaborating well enough. And so this year we have to have at least 2 meetings with our case management agency where we have an agenda, where we talk about common issues and concerns, which won't be hard to do. It's a fine idea. And so we'll work on that this year too. And Chrissy won't have to be involved in that meeting because she's not involved in the long-term care typically. We'll see what those look like. So for this year, if we meet them all, we could earn a maximum of $6,500, but we can only earn up to however much the county share is. And so typically our county share is more like $2,000 to $4,000. And so even though we have the ability to earn this much, we can only offset our share. They don't give us like bonus money. So
What's with that?
I know, I don't like it. I think we should get whatever we earn.
Sure. Why not?
So if that whole long explanation was probably far more than you needed, but if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
We've talked about it before, but basically there's no downside to it. You either get awarded the money based upon the milestones or you don't. So it's a nice opportunity to get a little bit
At
extra
least get a
money.
little extra, especially
Yeah.
since it offset sounds like it offset
Yeah.
our entire share.
Yeah, it saved us $3,500.
No, that's great.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's so long.
Yeah.
A lot of pages.
This is a lot.
Luckily, well, not luckily, I had to review it for my other county and, I reviewed it first for them and then, I had to take a quick look at it for you guys. It's fine.
I will admit, I did not look at this because I assumed you had.
I did.
I think that was a good choice, and then you'll see one very similar next year, and the
Yeah.
next year, and the
And-
next year.
And these repetitive contracts, just so you know, it's like. We look for changes and the state's pretty good about not putting things in there that are illegal.
Sure.
Since we're part of the state, we're part of the state, then yeah, they keep it legal, which is nice.
Do you need a motion on this?
We do need a motion to approve it.
So, I'll take a motion to, enter into this intergovernmental agreement with the state of Colorado as presented.
I'll make the motion to enter this state of Colorado intergovernmental agreement. For
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
I,
Okay,
And it has to be signed by DocuSign, so who should I send it to?
Austin.
Austin? Okay,
Austin,
all right, I'll be sending that to you.
I can still sign. Yeah.
Okay, probably later today. I'll hopefully get it to you.
Okay.
Thank you.
He doesn't have internet.
oh, that's right.
This is apparently where he's at.
I have service on my
Oh.
phone though. It's okay.
Okay, well, and it doesn't have to be signed till I think the 29th, so I'll get it to you as soon as I can. Thank you for calling in while you're not in town, gosh.
Yeah.
And then Chrissy didn't really have any updates, which is why she's not hanging out up here with us. The only thing is she's got someone ready to go in the 2-bedroom apartment. As soon as it's ready to go, it just needs a little more finishing up between tenants. And then there's one vacant apartment that people have been interested in, but nobody's applied for yet.
How has the lease been working out? Has anyone had an issue with it? All the attachments, you're herding the cats on that and putting it all together?
Fine. Nobody's complaining.
Okay, and you're doing all the lead paint, disclosures and all that stuff?
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Good, yeah, thank you for all your time getting that. That was a big project to update the leases. So my last thing is about the Silverton Family Learning Center, which I think you're already all aware that they're in a financial crunch.
Yes.
For a variety of reasons. And so they've proposed a way to get through this year, and I don't want to say too much because I don't want to speak out of turn for them, because Debbie and Natalie and those folks, I'm sure either have or will be meeting with you also. But they've come up with a draft proposal for 4 different funders to help with up to $25,000 for this year to get them through this while they build a sustainability plan. I just talked to them yesterday. They're still working on their sustainability plan, so that is still to be determined. A lot of what they and I have talked about is with the universal pre-kindergarten. That's been a big hit that they didn't expect this year because the way that works is any 4-year-old who's in a preschool, the preschool will get paid the universal pre-kindergarten funding for that 4-year-old. But 3-year-olds have to meet very specific criteria. And in the past, when the funding, before universal preschool existed, when it was the Colorado preschool program, yet a different acronym, the funding ran differently. And so they could get full-time funding for 3-year-olds also. And so now with the UPK program, the funding is really different. And it sounds like due to some misunderstandings on their part or lack of communications, I don't know all the details, but they also only have 1 3-year-old this year who might qualify for UPK, and they don't know yet if that one will qualify. And so that's a big hit to their funding. So they're having to figure out a lot of things with their new director, and the board is very on top of it. So one of the proposals they made is the social services department being one of these funders to get them over the hump, and they know it wouldn't be sustainable. It would be $25,000 for the year. So it'd be from now through June, because that's when our year ends. And we could pay it out of the TANF reserves. So the TANF reserves, we have $100,000 in there now. It's money we have already spent the county share on, so there'd be no county share. It would, of course, reduce our reserves down to 75,000, or if we're able to put a little bit in it over the year. My guess is we'd end up someplace between 75,000 and 80,000 in our reserves. And what we would have to do if you all approve this, and I can certainly bring it back to you if you want more details, because I don't have an actual scope of work from them or anything yet. We just talked yesterday. Would be, we would be paying for staff salaries out of the TANF reserves, which would be pretty simple. It's pretty much what we already do with the school contract that we have for the summer program. Is the school bills us for their staff salaries up to that certain amount. And then I do an audit of a month to make sure that it's all legitimate expenses, that kind of thing. So that is the idea. I looked at all of our financials, and it's really good timing for us because it's year end. So we just got everything closed with the state. And so one way we could pay for it would be through child welfare, which I can look at that over the year. The disadvantage of child welfare is there's their county share. There's the 80-20 county share. So that would cost up to $5,000 to the county if we did it through child welfare, but the state would pick up the rest. Or with Colorado Works, if we did it through the Colorado Works, the TANF reserves, there wouldn't be a county share, and either one of those could absorb it. The worst case scenario, of course, would be we could look at our social services fund balance, which you don't really want to do because it's about 68,000 right now. And that's money that's hard to replenish, especially if taxes are going down and we just don't know what's going to happen with county finances. So I'm going to stop talking and see if anyone has questions, thoughts. I know you've had other meetings with the Family Learning Center folks. I think you have anyway.
You just talked to them yesterday?
Yeah.
Did they mention, they need a new boiler?
They did just find that
Tune
out.
of 10 grand?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, we can't.
Is it part of this
We would,
25,000?
no, we wouldn't be able to do any capital expenses through
Yeah.
TANF reserves.
So here we go.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
that's not part of that.
no, we wouldn't be able to do it
We
through
own
the
that
TANF reserves.
So is that our responsibility then? A new boiler?
I haven't seen a lease. Do I have a lease?
We do have a lease, I think.
There,
We
you gotta look into it.
I don't know if you've had it.
I thought I'd bring that up just
Yeah, nobody's.
Yeah.
because you knew about it. Well, and I just found out this morning at coffee. And
Sometimes that round table. thing
Yeah,
we gotta
some-
do
every now and again,
Gets you some pretty good
that's
info.
it.
Yeah, yeah, I think they just found out about it.
Need to stay away from that table.
It costs money every time I'm there.
It's cost money, exactly.
But it is something that's coming up and we need to know this, so.
Well, and we need
That'll be
to,
pertinent to the
we need
meeting.
to, we need to know now, so we can.
Correct.
For winter.
Right.
Right,
It's gonna
but
be here before now.
The problem is, it's,
Probably.
you can tell it's not gonna be brought up for budget because it's needed sooner than later.
Right.
Right.
So that's why I thought
Right.
I knew probably knew about it, and that's why I brought it up.
Yeah, they were still, I think, coming to grips with that extra expense that they
Right.
hadn't expected.
Which means we have to come to grips with it
Yeah,
at some point.
Yeah, and
And-
I don't know if you're aware or not, but the county committed $45,000. In addition to what they're asking for.
Oh,
So-
okay.
So we're already.
Just to get them, by for
We
a
did.
couple months, yeah.
To get them through the end of the calendar year.
okay, I knew they'd come and talk with you, but I didn't know what the.
So-
Yeah, and so that would be, you're right, separate funding, the TANF reserves would be different from.
I mean, I guess my concern is, you know, obviously the commissioners have expressed that they, you know, that we want to support them and keep going, but, I mean, I think they've got to have and I know they're working on it, but they've got to have a sustainability plan before we just keep throwing money at them.
And when you were talking about, they haven't got that formulated yet.
No, they haven't, and I did not ask them, like, when do you need to shut your doors, that kind of thing, because there's so many variables. I told them I was going to talk with you all today, and it is fine if there's not a decision today, because I think the sustainability plan, I mean, that's going to be key for any of the funders they're asking for resources from, is if there's this big of a deficit this
And we
year.
did encourage them to talk to you
Yeah.
about, you know.
Do you know, are you at liberty to say who the other funders are? I mean, cause it seems to
I
be the
think,
county a lot.
I didn't specifically ask them that question. They sent me the proposal, but it's like a draft, so I'd rather not, just because I didn't ask them specifically, so.
Okay.
I don't wanna share something that perhaps wasn't my place to share. I appreciate you asking, and I should have
Yeah.
asked that question yesterday.
So they have 4 different funders that would be willing to come up with that 25,000 instead of us having to come up with it out of child welfare or our TANF reserves, is that?
No, we were one of those 4.
We're one of the
We're
4.
one of the
We
4.
were one of those
Well,
4.
they're looking,
Comes down to,
they're,
comes down to us again.
our, okay, I guess the question is, are they asking for 25,000 from each of the funders, or is it just 25,000 from 4?
No, it was 25,000 from each, so it'd be
So they're wanting
$100,000.
$100,000.
Yeah.
I don't see where I have that lease, maybe I've never worked on it,
Probably,
could somebody send me that? And then, I should probably get a handle on that so that we know what we're.
yeah.
Yeah,
Our
that's,
responsibility is.
Yes,
that's gonna come up pretty quick, I imagine.
and then renewals and things like that, we should probably take a look at.
And that 100,000 would carry them until the end of the state fiscal year.
Yeah, I don't know, it didn't have a budget on it too, I think,
Yeah, there's one question, but
yeah.
obviously, I mean, 25,000 isn't just, I mean, it might be a one-time shot, but it's not that's not a sustainable
No.
funding source.
No, I would see doing it once, yeah, I mean, that's
We don't,
60,000.
we don't want to rate our.
Yeah.
TANF.
Martha, how do you feel about this?
Funds totally-
Are you comfortable with this?
I
That's what
am. I am for a couple of reasons. One is, I think it's critical that the Learning Center at least do their best to stay open. They may not be able to.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're in $100,000 deficit, how is that ever gonna get filled? I don't know that. But I'd like to support them while they figure that out. And our TANF reserves, while I'm totally let's keep the money until there's a rainy day person, I think this is a rainy day. So I think I
Okay,
think that's what these are for. So far, statewide, with our child welfare funds, our child care funds, and our TANF funds for San Juan County, we're okay. Because I know that's also like our safety net for if we overspend child welfare, if we overspend child care. But we've historically been okay. I mean, that could swing this year. But even if it's swung over 1 year, I think we'd be okay.
We'd
It'd
be
be more
okay.
if there's an
Okay.
ongoing trend, that would be where we'd start getting in trouble. So I'm okay with it, and I also think there's a lot more information that they're working on. They know they need more information. I would be fine if you need me to come back to the evening meeting at the end of the month, if there's more solid, or if you want to say yes or no right now, as far as, yes with conditions, or obviously we'd have to do a contract. I would run a contract through Dennis.
I want to see a plan. They can't just keep asking for money without saying, how are we going to sustain this operation?
I agree with that, and Martha, and maybe by then, we'll actually know what the whole amount is. Because of this boiler and everything else, I mean, we need to see, is it 25,000, is it 35,000, I mean, what, and how much is it just 5,000 to the county? And then we use 10 of it, or what is it really to the county? 'Cause
Right.
that seems like an undisclosed number right now.
And if are the other funders who they're reaching out to going to be willing to do it, and if not.
And they
then-
might know about more by then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
we're
that
not-
makes sense.
We're not trying to be hardline on this, but
Realistic.
realistic,
Yeah.
And I found the old lease from 05, so maybe, I don't know if we're under the same lease, you think?
I've never seen the lease, I don't know.
Okay.
I actually don't think I even realized it was a county building. It's a great building, it's really nice.
with an old boiler,
Yeah. Which is,
17-year-old boiler, so.
So.
Yeah, that's what it is, I mean, it's hard to realize that building is that old,
It's been there almost 20 years.
right,
so,
next thing you know, you turn around and.
I told them that I'd get back to them after this meeting because they knew we were in a meeting, and so I am happy to let them know, that at this point, it's not a yes, it's not a no, it's definitely need the sustainability plan.
We need information.
That,
Right.
I mean, that may be a focus on the 27th meeting. I mean, maybe they need to come too. I don't know. I don't want to make any plans for all of you, but I can certainly plan to join that evening meeting at the end of the month and. If there's
Will
an
you will
update.
it?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm. I guess because we are, because we did commit that money and we're giving them a check every month, do they need this money
Like
right now, just to get,
It,
Keep the doors open.
it sounds like it. It sounds like. I can't, and I'm not sure if it's the end of this month or in September that they wouldn't be able to meet payroll. But I didn't ask a lot of details because I definitely wanted to meet with you all
So-
and see what questions.
That's what we need. I mean, so if we don't act now, they're again, here they are.
because when we committed the 45,000, that would get them. I mean, what they assured us was that would get them to the end of the calendar year.
Mhm.
And their grants would be coming in.
Right.
and things
Yeah.
like that.
And now it kind of sounds like
If
it's
that's
not.
Not working, then, I guess we need to know why.
The biggest piece, which I did not share, just because I don't understand how this all works really well either, is evidently as part of the transition between the Colorado preschool project and universal preschool, providers have been getting like transitional money every year. They were getting like a lump sum, and theirs was typically, it sounds like around 60,000, maybe in the fall, it sounds like. This year, they're not getting that because it's completely based on how many kids are enrolled. And so somewhere during the time that was being communicated to providers, they missed that piece of information. So that's what's put them in this crisis as far as the $60,000 that they thought they were getting, they're not. And I've got to say, they sent me the memos that the Colorado Department of Early Childhood has sent to them. They're very confusing. I would not have gotten that out of those memos. I don't know what other communication there was.
Sounds like, again, this is the state.
Yeah.
So the building purchased with a Region 9 loan?
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, the gap funding, we got Region 9 money to.
And we paid for that lease. That's already been paid for. Full. Nice.
So, yeah,
Do
between,
you feel comfortable that if you came back with more information at our night meeting, that these guys are gonna be okay, or is this, I mean, they're not here, so it must not be a 911.
yeah, well, I think they're wanting to talk to all the people they were wanting to seek funding from before coming here, because I told them they'd be
Okay.
welcome to come, and I think they're still really figuring this out, what their plan is. So I would assume that by the evening, and
Okay.
yeah, as far as the 25,000 is a one-time thing, we can only do it once out of TANF reserves. I'm okay with that. And it will take a little while to get a contract in place, which I told them, we can't start paying without a contract, and we can't just do a lump sum. It has to be reimbursements for actual expenses.
Oh, so you can't do a $25,000 check.
No, TANF reserves, it has to be
So
reimbursements.
reimbursables.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll just have to take your lead on that and tell me what you
Yeah.
can and can't do and how it needs to
Yeah.
be structured and whatever you need me to do, let me know.
Yeah, I talked to the TANF people at the state to make sure this is something we could do, and so they were very helpful as far as that, yes, we can, and no, we can't do capital, no, we can't do certain things, and we can't do like a prepayment, it's only reimbursable.
And if you think that 2000 or that original lease is the lease in place, then I'll just go off of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'll double check, but I don't know that we.
So then we can find out if we are responsible for the boiler then, right?
I'm sure we are, but
Yeah.
well, I shouldn't say that. I mean, it could have
No.
been. Yeah.
I mean, the idea was that it wouldn't be.
Oh.
responsible for anything, but I just don't remember it.
Another question, where's the school in this and where's the town in this?
Yeah.
Good questions. So,
Yeah, the people I talked to yesterday were Debbie and Natalie. And so definitely I would go back to them with questions, and I'll get back with them this afternoon. I'll let them know that you all have questions and to be reaching out, because, yeah.
No, and I mean, I think if you get enough answers, or if they wanna join you, you know, we'll put you on the agenda for the evening meeting if we don't have any more answers then than we do now, unless it really is just an emergency and we've gotta do something.
It was an emergency a few months ago,
But,
Yeah.
and then we asked them to come
Otherwise,
up with a sustainability
you're
plan.
not for your time.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, if we've got more
Are you-
information.
I mean, there's no sense.
are you gonna see him today?
No, I wasn't gonna see him today, I was just gonna connect with them
Okay.
after the meeting, because I don't think they'll have any new information today from yesterday afternoon, but I'll,
Okay, the reason I'm asking is, I know the boiler, it's not winter time. That boiler is also hot water and everything else,
right,
Yeah,
which.
we just need to find out what the lease says and act on it.
Yeah, I mean, we're actually talking about two separate issues.
We are, that's
I
right,
mean, I.
that's right, that's right, sorry about that.
I mean, I'm not sure what the
I didn't mean-
lease is gonna say, but
I
I
didn't mean
would
to
say at
confuse
this point,
those.
it's a given, we're buying
A boiler.
Correct,
boiler.
correct, okay,
So the lease draft, I don't have the final executed lease, so I've got a lot of red lines that went back and forth with Paul, but it looks like the last one that is in, that I have, has them being responsible for the equipment. Us being outside walls, foundation and roof, and then
Or the basics, and then
then everything. But again, I'd like to see the final version that we've got ink on. But like Willie said, I'm not sure it matters at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
they don't have the,
If they can't.
I didn't mean
if they
to
can't.
combine the two,
If they
they're
can't
not,
payroll, they're not
If they
gonna,
can't do salaries, then
they're not gonna have
Yeah.
10,000 for a boiler.
And we need
no,
heat.
and it's, the boiler is something we should act on in the next week or two, tell you.
right, like I said, it's not just heat,
It's realistic.
it's
yeah.
hot water and everything else
yeah,
for
Yeah.
kids.
well,
And it's, the other thing is gonna be availability. You know, you can order a boiler, but if it's gonna take 6 months, then that's why we should be acting as soon as we
I can tell you from my conversation, it doesn't take 6 months, but
But,
it's
But it
10,000
takes
and
Yeah.
it's not like it used to be.
okay. I
No,
like the
they have them,
boilers and stuff like
they have
that.
them, it's not a supply chain
So we're okay in that respect then.
pandemic thing.
But really, our deadline then is winter. I mean, it's coming, so, and it's
Well,
mid-August.
It's more than that, just because like I said, it's hot water,
Yeah.
it's not just heat.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
They need it right now.
Right,
Yeah.
right, that's,
Legal.
no, they're gonna come to us sooner than later.
Yeah.
I guess, even though they haven't come to us yet with this and we don't have any prices.
I'd say we.
You want a
Do
consensus?
you wanna make a motion to approve an expenditure not to exceed 11,000?
I think that's a good idea, Will.
I would, go ahead.
Yeah, I guess the way that I would do it, if you do approve the expenditure,
Cause it goes against the lease.
I think we should have them ask us to advance it. And then that way, if they did all of a sudden find funding, we might get some of that money back. So if it came.
We'll wait on that.
Well, no, go ahead. If they ask us to go ahead under the lease terms to perform their obligation of fixing that boiler. And we'll hold it as some kind of, we'll just take a credit or something. In case they fall into a bunch of money, which I'm sure.
So how do you want us to word that motion?
No, I think you could I think you could authorize the expenditure of up to $11,000 to secure boiler repairs or replacement. If the preschool asks you to advance those funds under the terms of the lease.
Make that motion quick while it's still fresh.
You know, the one thing I am gonna say, that was the cost of the boiler. That wasn't labor,
Installation.
that wasn't labor and installation, so maybe we do need to wait to hear from them, I don't.
Yeah, let's.
I mean, do you wanna do more than 11,000, because it's, I mean, you know,
I,
plumbers are,
yeah, I have no idea.
Bless you.
Uh,
I just
Well,
want-
no, we can make that motion, get the boiler, figure out the rest later, right?
yeah,
I'll go ahead and make a motion to, I guess,
As Dennis worded it.
as Dennis worded it.
Is that all right, Willie? Did you get that? You got that, right?
I think so.
Yeah, so we'll just ask them, hey, it's your obligation, assuming it's their obligation under the lease, once we find the signed final lease. Assuming it's their obligation, then we'll just ask them, hey, would you like us to repair the boiler? It is your obligation, so, you know, it would be on the books as you would have to reimburse us at some point in the future. That's what I was getting at. I think it was clear.
Gotcha.
Can I say so move?
Okay. All right, Austin, I need a second.
All right, I'll second that.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Good.
And I'll get back with them when I get back into my office. As far as a primary contact with any and all this, that should be you, Willie, as far as everything that's going on with them and what they need to talk about.
Yeah.
Okay, I will do that. Make sure they know you all have lots of good questions and definitely not supporting them, but you need to know what the
Sure.
plan is.
No. We're definitely supportive.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Martha.
Yeah, well, thank you. That was, I know, unexpected for all of us. I'll see you next month.
We do have a 10 o'clock appointment. Let me just run down the hall real quick.
Look, so we'll see you the next meeting then, nighttime meeting.
Yeah, if there's more plans, if there's nothing,
Okay.
yeah, I'll probably zoom in rather than come in, but
Okay.
hard to know. Might come up.
All right, thank you.
Hopefully you won't be smoking then.
I got an email with some public comments on this first thing. I'm gonna see if I can go.
Okay.
And I get so hungry. I don't know what it is. I think it's the altitude.
Hungry?
Yeah.
I have banana. All right, well,
I'm gonna eat this.
okay.
Thank you. How's the nail shop doing?
Good. You know, she's still Monday through Wednesday, she's at salons, spas and the green building next to Home Slice. And that's her main business. Because of all the 22 years of ladies that she has
Oh,
on
yeah.
her 250 and whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then she's here Thursday, Friday. Saturday, Sunday, but Thursday and Friday, she's pretty full. Up here at the GI to answer your question. Good.
Think she'll do that forever?
Yeah, the plan is for her to move up there. But
I
realistically.
thought she did.
Well, she lives here with me, but she lives on County Road 203, Monday through Wednesday.
She owns that house down there, or?
It's her mother's house, but she, basically she will. To be honest with you, it's nice to have both.
You don't need to say.
Yeah, no, I mean, for her especially. Right?
For everyone. You know, I think it's,
Well, even for the marriage, okay?
oh, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah,
you know.
I know exactly what that's like, and I can tell you that, I think some of the strongest marriages are ones where they're apart a little bit of the time, and you gotta be able to check yourself and go.
Yeah.
You know,
I think you're exactly right, so.
and if you're as
Hey.
outspoken as you and I are, then you
Yeah.
gotta give them a break too.
Most definitely.
Where's the other go?
He's getting emails for this next appointment, for this next public hearing.
For the first one?
The first one,
Okay,
thank you,
okay.
the first one. Yeah, it's basically public comment on it, so.
Yep.
Got a bunch or?
Yeah, we do.
Never too thrilled about that many in one meeting.
What's that?
I'm never too thrilled about that many in one meeting. It'd be nice to space them out over 2 meetings or something like that, but a lot of times it's just the way they're filed.
They come in, yeah.
Maybe you have to, have like, your couple weeks or whatever to go to public hearing. I did like the fact that Willie got these to us before.
Able to go through them.
Yeah.
When did you get them?
A couple weeks.
A couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
This is what we're ready today, so.
Yeah.
That's it tomorrow.
I know we're going up and catch Willie, I just wanna, the little sheet on how we conduct the public hearings. I was like, they have that.
Oh, that's good to have.
Yep.
Lisa, how are you?
Fine, thanks, how are you?
Good. Want to talk about anything?
I'm just here for 3 public hearings, or maybe 4.
Man, you are a big shot. Let me ask you something about it.
Just a-
Not one of these.
Just a paper pusher,
Well,
I'm resigned to that, but,
Georgia. Good to hear about what Rusty's up to and everything.
Yeah,
I mean,
I came early, I wanted to see.
yeah, exactly, so we're,
Hear all the
Like I
reports,
said,
what's going on, and appreciate all you guys doing.
he's gonna let the homeowners know what's going on with that project, which will be a good thing.
Tell them I'm gonna hire on with him here before long.
There you
Got
go.
something to do.
You've been helpful, so we appreciate you.
I just like something to do every day, you don't get up and park around, but it makes me go up at 5 o'clock again,
Yeah, there you go.
but that's. There's just 2 of them, right? Rusty and,
Well, I don't know if you heard, we just hired a third one.
no, I didn't hear that.
That was part of the meeting. Oh, you mean you left for a minute.
Yeah.
There'd be 3. And we luckily have Louis on temporarily, so that's amazing, actually. But we just hired a third at this meeting.
What's his name?
What is his name?
David.
Daniel. Daniel.
Oh, Daniel, yeah.
The water truck guy.
Yeah.
Waterfront guy.
Yeah,
So we just hired him today, right?
Float right, plays down in Durango, has a rapping place or something.
Yep.
Now, he could live right over here somewhere, I think.
Yeah, the old Reno house, yeah.
I seen him over there one day. He's a good guy. At least, the days I got to work with him.
Yeah, no, he shows up, does his job.
Well, for Bill and Doodle's gonna probably hang it up too, if they're still on, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Permanently, I would think.
Right. Well, we're working on that. Too on the side of getting, to make sure we have water truck drivers too. This is a permanent position though.
That was right. Right.
Oh, man, right.
This next stuff with there. Go up.
And we start going immediately and go over the clear the site now 6 weeks for an initial run.
Anyway, just thought I'd let you know.
Thank you.
She was very nice though.
Austin, did you get the email I just sent?
The email regarding the comments for the senior warden.
Yeah.
I got the one from 11:52 that you sent. Yes. Yeah, I got that.
Okay.
Okay, you guys ready to start then? Willie, Pete,
Yeah.
okay, we'll start our public hearing at 10:12. Public hearing is on improvement permit application for a single family residential structure on the senior Warden Road. I'll let Willie make his presentation. And then after that, I'll call for the applicant to make comments, and then comments from the public, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, so as I have Branch Boyle submitted an improvement permit application for the development of a single family residential structure, driveway and associated utility improvements on the senior Warden Road, USMS 13298. The property is located up near Mullis Lake, and would be accessed off of US 150. It's located in the Mountain Zoning District. The size of the property is 3.877 acres, which is below the 5 acre minimum required in the Mountain Zoning District. Otherwise, the structure meets setback requirements, and the proposed structure is approximately 1,280 square feet. A single story unit with 300 square foot covered deck and 384 square foot shed. It is in the Scenic Preservation Overlay District. However, the applicant does appear to be making every effort to minimize the visual impact. And it's possible additional screening might be required, but surprisingly, it isn't. There's a short period of time when you're on the highway, you know, like about 4 or 5 seconds where it's actually visible from the highway. The applicant has applied for water rights to Salton Creek that he would use to fill a cistern located on the property. The applicant would also, until that's completed, if he's gonna use town water, he'd need to work with the town of Silverton to amend the CTR on his current billing rate. The applicant proposing to install an engineered septic system that was designed by Dudley Ashwood. The applicant will need to have permit application approved by Lupata Public Health. Proposed improvement should have minimal impact on adjoining property owners. At the time of the staff report, I hadn't heard from any adjoining property owners, but I did receive an email that I just printed out and gave to you guys as far as that can be will be included in the public comment section. The applicant has included a scenic quality report. As far as the historic review, where his plans to build, there doesn't appear to be any historic impact, and I don't think it'll have should have minimal adverse impact on wildlife. He would need to be required to store solid waste, his solid waste in a garbage in a wildlife bear resistant containers, and how he can dispose of the transfer station. He would need to be placed on the town storage and utility billing system for rentals. He's planning on using solar, hydroelectric, and propane for power, and solar and 2 wood burning stoves for heat. The propane tanks, if they're larger than 250 gallons, will need to be buried, and the wood stove devices need to be approved by meet models approved by environmental protection agency, and equipped with approved chimney cap and or spark arresters to minimize risk of wildfire. The applicant does not currently have access to the property. He has submitted an access permit application for CDOT to have access from US 550. He has also submitted an access permit application to BLM to construct a roadway 550 feet long with a driving surface of 12 feet wide to access the property. Both permits would need to be approved before immediate development for the third. The proposed improvement will preserve it so far as possible the natural terrain and drainage of the land. All disturbances would need to be revegetated with native plants, species certified to be weed free. As far as avalanche or other hazards, the development is located, or the proposed development is located out of any potential avalanche zone. Wildfire hazard requires that the applicant be in compliance with our second order 110.15 and 4-110.15. There was only these regulations. Just to point out that the site, or not his site specifically, but property off the highway there is heavily used by in the winter for snowmobiles and snowshoeing and cross-country skiing. And you know, those have been historic uses of are very popular recreation areas and would need to be preserved. That's pretty much it. The planning commission did review this application. And it was their recommendation that it be approved with the conditions that I've listed in the staff report. As well as allowing for an exemption to the minimum lot area.
That all we got, Will?
That's what I got for now.
Okay, Isaiah, do you want to come up to the table and present your project issues, concerns, anything you can think of?
For sure. Thank you, Willie.
Yeah, thank you for coming up.
Yeah, of course. All right, Dennis Galbraith is
Pete,
Pete.
And Austin is our third commissioner who's online.
Austin. Yeah, like Willie said, my name's Isaiah. I grew up down in Durango, but my dad's family has been here ever since the miners came in the 1800s. And my mom's family is Ute and Pueblo, so they've been in the Southwest for a long time as well. And it's my goal to continue living in the Southwest, continuing that tradition. I mean, as you guys know, housing and property prices in the area have been considerably exploding and making it hard for younger folks to live in the area. And so I knew it was going to take some creativity and some risks to be able to actually be able to have a home here. And so when the senior warden claim came up for sale, you know, I saw that it had some pretty major red flags, but considering my other options, which were, you know, 3 or 4 times the expense of the senior warden, I decided to take the risk and see if I could make it happen. And it's a incredible place to get to build, but I also think it's flat. It's out of an avalanche hazard zone. It's out of geohazard zone, safe, good access. Like, I think it has a lot going for it. Yeah, I think trying to build a modest house out of local timbers is the best I can do on that property. And I think the 2 biggest issues that have been presented are it's in the scenic easement by the highway, and I'm a photographer and a filmmaker by trade. Like I value the scenery and how beautiful this place is. I think it's incredible. And it's why one of the many reasons we all want to live here. And it's in all of our interests to have whatever I build screen from the highway. I don't want to see the highway either. So whatever screening we need to put in to make it hidden, I'm willing to do. It also is below the highway, so it doesn't appear on any of the skylines, and you only see it for about 3 or 4 seconds before it's shielded again by that snow fence and the trees that are already there. And the main place that people pull off by the rock to take pictures and enjoy that view and everything like that, you can't see any of the proposed developments from there at all. It's already blocked by all the aspens that are there. And yeah, the non-conforming lot size, it being a small lot, looking at the survey that's also included from 1890, it was originally surveyed at that size along with the Aladdin lamp hut, I guess. And maybe you guys probably know about this more than I do, but when they were staking claims and everything like that, they staked the Aladdin lamp as the mining claim and then the senior warden as the mill site, trying to keep the mill site under 5 acres. And with how hilly the terrain is and everything like that, it ended up being under 4 with the survey. But well before the rule about the 5-acre rule, we had this lot coming in small. It's just been small. And I'm not trying to subdivide it and turn it into a condominium complex or a suburb or anything.
You're on the opposite side of the Aladdin's lamp.
Correct.
Right.
I'm between
Okay.
Aladdin lamp and Molus as far as like that long strip goes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Want to clarify that.
Yeah. And yeah, happy to answer any questions. Just excited to hear what questions you guys have and what you guys think. Appreciate y'all's time looking over it.
All right, thanks, Isaiah. I think we'll ask questions just a little bit later here, at least I will. I will call for comments from the public, if there's any comments from the public at the moment. I guess I should ask Austin and Pete if you had some questions for Isaiah now or want to save them in a second.
Let's go ahead and go public comment first, unless
Okay.
Pete's got something.
All right.
I've got some afterwards.
So I'll ask for comments from the public. I'm hearing none so far. We do have a letter though. I do have a letter.
Do you want to see an email from Steve Asher concerning providing comment on that application?
You wanna, should we address this, Willie? Because he does have some concerns I think we need to be talking about, or should we just address that in just a second? I mean, his first one was the size of the parcel. Is there enough acreage for a septic system? Is one of his combination or was asking about. He's also asking about contamination of the watershed, since these guys are downstream of that. I guess he asked the question whether it's the primary residence and that you're not going to do a vacation or short-term rental. Asked about the surface water rights from the stream. And the hydro generator powered, they had a question about that. He also asked about access. So I'm just bringing those up.
Yeah,
How do you want to address those questions that he's asking, Willard?
Are these the folks on the Molus?
Probably, I'm assuming that cabin that's downstream from you.
Can we address those after we close public comment?
Okay, all right. If there's no other comments from the public, I'm going to close public comment. Now, commissioners can ask questions of the staff or the applicants, so now is a good time to ask any questions. Austin, do you have some questions, or Pete?
I think, to kind of start with here, looking at the Etcher's note and where their property is located. I gotta say, I didn't realize that there was a cabin down there, but I can see it pretty zoomed in on the GIS that we have near a set of tailings piles lower down. To me, that their property is a little far to be from watershed concerns from Isaiah's cabin. There's the junior warden and the next claim past there that looks more on the watershed that Isaiah's proposing here, whereas theirs looks actually closer to the next watershed over. And I could understand if they have a spring and some water coming down there, but their cabin looks pretty far from the construction site, and the watershed that I think
I know that
we're looking at here.
I know that map is in this book somewhere, but I can't find it.
Where's he at?
The map of all the claims. There's a map in here somewhere that showed that whole long line of claims on the Molus vein.
Yeah,
there's even another one that shows even more that I saw, and I'm not finding it. It goes even farther down. Because they're not, I don't think they're are they on the Molus, or are they farther down, like on the expansion, or even farther down than that? Because that cabin's way down there.
Which cabin are you referring to, Scott? The Escher cabin, or the one that's visible from the highway?
Not the one that's visible from the highway. That's right above the Molus claim right there. But are they talking about that cabin? There's another cabin over the side, way down the hillside there. I think, is that theirs? Way down there?
That's an historic.
I believe so.
What's that, with a historic cabin, that miner's cabin?
Yeah, it is.
Down below there?
Way down there.
Way down there.
Not
Yeah, I know what
on
you're
the
talking
hill
about.
that you see, but if you walk the Molus vein all the way down, you'll come across that cabin, and I'm wondering if that's these guys, because it's pretty far down the hill.
sure.
But we had a map that showed all those claims. And I just not finding it. I swear it was in this.
There's one, but it doesn't show these roads. It's kind of closer to the front.
Okay, I'll see.
That shows like the adjacent property.
Yeah, and it showed like 6 or 7 claims
Yeah.
on the Molus one, and I'm looking for that one. Because I just want to know.
I think it's right after the parcel history. Yeah, it's like
That one. I saw another one that was even. There's probably 6 or 7 claims on this thing right here, if I remember.
Well, the river's right here.
Oh, okay,
Just go
that's
down to right here.
okay. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Then.
But
Okay.
this is the watershed I'm in, the Sultan Creek. So these are the only folks that would get affected by
Okay.
anything. So if those
So
guys
they're-
aren't
they're
in those
cabin-
two
Yeah, I
claims,
think the cabins
And
this direction.
okay, but it would just be a different
Yeah.
drainage.
Okay.
And there's a different watershed that kind of comes through the lower section of their property from south, and it heads kind of south to north.
Okay.
And it comes down in kind of below their cabin, but I would venture to guess that watershed's pretty separate from Sultan Creek's.
Yeah.
and
Cause I know the cabin I'm thinking about is on this set of claims that are at the diagonal. Somewhere in that hillside there somewhere, so I don't think it has anything to do with the Sultan Creek. So that may be a moot point. Let's see.
I'm definitely happy to walk it and figure it out, but it seems like, yeah, just looking at the topography.
Austin, do you have any more questions for Isaiah?
No, I think for the planning commission, we this was probably the one we spent the most time on in our last meeting, and just discussing it. I thought the the perspective of some of the planning commission was really good. That the 5 acre rule was kind of made to ensure less development in more sensitive areas, and kind of consensus among those planning commission members was that this area is not going to see very much development, and that it's not possible to have much density of areas here. Another thing that we haven't discussed, but this property was on the books in the county as being significantly larger than the claim actually is, and so kind of based on surveying, it was more than 5 acres, but with surveying was determined that it was not quite 5 acres.
So especially after the roll would be, I think, over 7 acres, and reality was.
So,
okay.
How was it represented to you then? Was it represented as 7 acres or 3.877?
It was originally represented as 7, because that was what it was being taxed as, and then when we got into the due diligence and looking at the actual survey plots, we found out that it was the under 4.
There you go. You've been taxed on 7 acres for how many years? There you go.
I think since the 90s was.
All right.
when they've been taxed.
And just one of the other things, one of the recommended conditions of approval is that the applicant would need to do a cumulative impact report as part of their the next phase, so that would address
This letter.
what was developable below there where there's other potential cabins and that type of stuff.
Right. This is just personal, but did you buy it as 7 acres? Cause that's a misrepresentation if it was.
No, we talked the price down with the acreage reduction once we found that out.
That's good.
Yeah. It was good for me.
I have a couple, Scott, do you want to go into yours?
Go right ahead.
Okay, I mean, the planning commission, conditions, number 14, any other conditions, the conditions deemed necessary. I mean, I think, obviously what kind of hurdles you got, but one of those conditions needs to be, obviously the CDOT and BLM access. I would like to include that in the condition. You're gonna have to do it anyway,
For sure.
right?
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, I would like to at least continue with this process as much.
right,
as I
right, but
can.
I'm just saying
But contingent on
that
BLM. Yeah.
you would come back, you have to come back with that anyway.
Yeah.
But I would like to see that as a formal condition as CDOT and BLM access, because you have to do it anyway.
Yeah.
The only question a couple questions, I'm all for hydroelectric, water rights, you still have to go through the water right process, you're going through the water right process,
Yes.
correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so definitely gotta figure out the hydro after you get the water rights,
Right.
right? So that's kind of sitting there.
And
You already know that,
Well, I
right?
talked to and the hydro, I mean, hopefully happens, but I talked to the guy that's doing the like micro hydro at the underground mine hotel. And he said he had looked at this property as potential for hydro. And so that's why I included, I was like, well, if we can make like micro hydro work, then we'll do it. If not,
Okay.
there's still
Okay.
solar.
Well,
Yeah.
good. Good. Why 2 wood stoves? I have to ask that.
The what? I didn't hear you, Pete.
2 wood
Why
stoves.
2 wood stoves instead of just one?
Oh,
I mean, it's
Um,
10-4, it's cold up there. I wanna make sure that. I have enough
understood, but
stoves.
if
Yeah.
one won't do it, or
I mean, for the upstairs and the basement, I think it'd be nice to have 2, just to be able to keep both
Okay.
of those heated.
I gotta ask that in this day and age because of the fire danger and everything else.
Definitely.
2 wood stoves.
Ideally, it'd be 2 wood stoves sharing one chimney.
One chimney.
Mhm.
Okay. Good enough. Good enough, sir. That's the
I
explanation I was
have like
looking
a lot
for.
of, yeah, I mean, that insulated chimneys.
The other thing, I guess, is Lisa, are you handling this?
I have helped Isaiah in the background figure out what to turn in and how to turn it in and look through his application before he turned it in, but.
Okay.
I didn't prepare this one, but I kind of helped him out in the background and he was smart enough to do his own application.
Okay, so the question, the reason I'm asking that is because. After the survey, it is 3.8 acres. I know that's big enough for a septic, but no, yeah,
And in that one spot, basically, that I've selected.
right,
is the
I
one
saw,
down below.
I saw the map and everything else, you gotta go through a plot anyway, so they're gonna, and you got the permit in, and you've got Dudley to advise you on that, right?
Mhm, yeah,
So-
and I had Troutner come and at least look at it for both geohazards and septic viability.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you've gone through that. And
So as
I
far,
don't-
yeah, as far as the setbacks go from the water and the creek and everything like that and property lines, the septic in the house.
Okay. So like I said, the condition, CDOT and BLM access proven, and water rights, you're obviously gonna prove that you have water rights. As two other conditions. Other than that, I don't have any questions.
I got some. Will you show me exactly where this building site is?
The building site?
Yep, I got photos here.
Definitely.
Is it right there?
It'll be kind of behind this tree, like where it starts to slope down.
Okay,
So one
so it's not,
story will be
it's not
visible.
right here, but it's more over the edge a little bit.
It's just, yeah, where it starts to roll, not facing you,
Okay,
but to the east.
and where is your property line in relation to this right here?
Sure, the property line. The first pin is right here by these little trees.
Okay,
And then the other pin is actually below you on the steep hillside.
it's going like that,
It
kind of.
kind of goes like, it's
Like where does
it's
it
sort of
go?
awkward. Yeah,
That's what I was trying to
so
picture.
you're over here taking a picture
Right.
going this way.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
and so this big tree is
this one, right? This one.
that big tree, yeah. These little trees right here, and trees on the
Right there.
corner up here.
Where's your corner at? Like right here?
It's right. Well, the pin is right about there.
There, so it's gonna be running into this direction like that. Is that the way I understand it?
It's the other way, it's coming towards you.
So if you go up there, Skinner Rock,
Right here.
Yeah,
you come down and go down this slope.
Yep, it
And
comes
then-
right to
And
here.
then you drop down around here and then you're getting back into the creek and this drops down kind of.
It's this corner, so this line comes across the creek to here.
yeah.
But the other line is going down this way, right?
It basically parallels those big trees in the back. So these big trees right here,
Are these guys right here?
on the other
Is
side.
it
of
these
that.
trees or these ones?
The spruce trees,
Right here?
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, so it's on the outside or the farthest side from you of those spruce trees.
the reason I'm asking that is, why can't the cabin be pushed into this area?
Well,
Instead of out on this area where it's more visible.
this,
When you get back in the trees, you're actually off the property. The
Yeah.
trees are just right on the.
These trees right here are just right. These trees or these trees?
These.
These trees are on the edge of the property. Okay,
cause this is the junior warden starting like right about there, running this way,
okay,
yeah.
all right, let's see if I had any other.
And one of the conditions of approval the planning commission requested was that he puts not just a story pole down here, but one on each side of and show his ridge line.
Okay.
And with the scenic quality report, I at least used the height of this existing tree to
Okay,
show like the potential of what it could block,
okay, all right.
yeah.
All right, that was just some questions.
For sure. It's a funny,
It's
the
a,
orientation is weird
okay,
on there.
all right, I just needed.
Looks like we got,
Pinpoint kind of where it was.
we've already, no, Steve. We already passed the
Oh,
public comment, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing this is the Steve that sent the email.
oh,
I think if you know, if you wanted to.
I'd be willing to hear from him, since he just came on. Steve, are you willing to make some, are you Steve Etcher? Are you willing to make some public comment on this, if that's who you are?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I appreciate the opportunity and sorry for missing the initial part of the meeting. I did submit the comments. We represent Dorothy Ecker. It's the family trust that owns the parcel below this. And, I appreciate the thoughtfulness of the concerns. Our observations are, with the small lot size, non-conforming lot size, with the subterranean conditions of the granite soil, there is a spring on that feeds water to our property that's been identified as likely leakage from the lake that just crosses the bedrock and comes out as a spring. And our greatest concern is just contamination of that water source that's very, very shallow in unpermeable conditions that would by gravity flow directly onto our parcel. So that's our greatest.
Is your parcel the Mollis claim?
It's the Dorothy Ecker claim. It's two parcels below. It's
on the same vein system, but it's below the Mollis.
Correct.
Okay.
And then, the other observation was just the access point, which I think, can obviously be pretty easily coordinated. We obviously share the same access point from the highway to get to our parcel. We just want to make sure
I actually don't believe that's true. He's filing for new access permit from Skinner's Rock, which is that turnoff from the highway.
Their access must be the one that goes past the cabin that's on the knoll and then down to the Mollis claim, is my guess.
we use the same turnout up there at the highway access. It's the only reasonable exit point from the highway. So, and then we park up at the top and walk down.
There's actually two. So he's planning on providing a new access. Your access probably is the road that goes past the BLM campsites down to the Mollis, correct?
No, we don't use that. We come in.
Oh, okay.
At the top. We just come in up at the top and park at the top and walk down. We don't have a driveway down to our claim. We hike in, and there is a cabin down there. But we don't have a driveway down. We just use the same turnout point at the top, park up at the top, and hike in. So with his improvements, we just want to make sure that our ability to access at that point is not precluded.
Well, if you're hiking in, it wouldn't be, right?
Well, just where
that doesn't make sense to me.
The vehicle exit off of the highway.
So you guys, where that little cabin is on the knoll, you guys don't drive down that road to that little area and park there?
We don't generally drive all the way down there.
Okay.
Wouldn't be
We just want to make sure that we aren't prevented from vehicular access. We're not looking to add a driveway. We just want to make sure that by dedicating the driveway and the access point, that it doesn't prohibit us from being able to use the same turnout point up at the top. And
I think what if Isaiah did something, it's not going to affect your access because you can still take that lower road down to the Mollis mine and park there.
As long as that's not, as long as none of the improvements impact that access point, then that's acceptable.
I don't think the driveway is gonna impact the use on the turnoff at all there at Skinner's Rock.
Okay.
It's just gonna be an access point there. So there'll be plenty of parking and things still that are offered there.
Okay. And then I guess the third point that we shared was just curious about if this was intended, and it may not be part of the consideration as a primary residence, or was this going to be a VRBO or short-term rental or something? Because it does potentially impact the influence of bringing more people in that were invariably going to hike off of the claim and will immediately then encounter our claim down below where we do have a cabin. And trespass has been a constant reoccurring issue, and it's, we're just we're sensitive to the introduction of easy access to that area for more and more people.
This application does not include a vacation rental permit, so this will be a primary or secondary residence, but no vacation rental permit will be.
That is the intent, is the primary user occupancy.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So that appreciate that feedback. And again, so then the biggest concern for us is the septic, and I know they do need to go through the process. It's just our observations about the conditions and permeability of the soil, and the obvious consideration that it's going to flow downhill to us across bedrock. So and I think the only consideration was the substandard lot size that was addressed at the planning commission. So, and I apologize if you had addressed that earlier in your hearing. If you don't mind covering that again, those are our observations, and appreciate you giving me a chance to articulate those.
Sure. Okay, and I'll close public comment again, I guess. I don't see it. Sultan Creek is a whole different drainage than where their cabin is, so I don't see that as a problem. Pete, did you have a couple more questions?
On addressing that, not to mention pointing that out, the basic geology, but you've got a licensed septic engineer that's going to make sure that it stays within his leach field. It's not going anywhere.
Right.
And that's why it's engineered. Right.
I think as far as site goes, San Juan Basin Health used to have a rule of thumb that basically it had to be a minimum of 1 acre size.
Right.
So,
so it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Did you know from Dudley what kind of system this is going to be? Have you got those plans from him yet?
I haven't.
Okay.
Yeah, because we haven't.
So we'll have those next time too.
Yeah.
Probably. So. Cool.
All right. I do have 2 comments. The reason we did the 5 acre rule was to limit cabin development. I understand some of the planning commission's logic that you say, like in top Red Mountain Pass, you can limit cabin development by 5 acres. We should have done 10 acres in hindsight, because this would have saved us a lot of trouble in many ways. So I guess that's the question I have for both us and T, is do we stick to our guns? We made these rules for a reason, which was to limit cabin density, 5 acres or more. And I think we did this, this zoning for a reason, and I think we stick with it. Here's another. I think my main problem right now is this little piece of land, that whole land there, is some of the most scenic areas in the state and the nation. You guys say you're going to drive by it quickly and there's only a quick visibility, but there are people, and it did show the house being kind of visible in that one picture from Skinner's Rock. You're not going to see much of it, but there's also a pullout just essentially across from the land driveway there. There's a couple wide spots in the road. I see people stopping there to take photographs all the time. So the question is, are we going to stick to our guns in our scenic quality report? And even though it's a small cabin, the problem is you're going to have a shed, you're going to have cars parked down there, you're going to have snowmobiles parked down there. It's not just the impact scenery wise of just a single cabin. And we also, so every summer visitor is going to see that thing. They may see it briefly, they may stop and see it for a lot longer. I think all those people camping in all those BLM sites are going to be looking straight back at it. So it is, we are looking to impact with our decisions a very scenic area that also gets tons of use in the winter. And again, scenic quality there, you have actually snowmobiles on a snowmobile track. That as they're coming back from Wallace Lake, are gonna have full visibility of that cabin and all the things that are there. So, we put those scenic quality things into our zoning for a reason, and that's to protect some of these view sheds, and that is really one of the most fantastic view sheds in the world. I mean, it really is, so I think we have to consider that. As far as additional screening, I think that's a noble effort, but it's gonna take 20 or 30 years to grow trees in front of your cabin here. That's just the reality. It's gonna take a long time to grow trees in today's times, especially with drought. I don't know if you're gonna even get them to grow. I'm worried about the BLM and CDOT access. The septic is gonna be put in that flat area, but you also have slopes to Silver Creek on one side and slopes down around, so that's not my job. That would be the guys putting in the septic job for sure. One thing I didn't notice, Isaiah, was Sultan Creek dry right now or not? I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear water running when I was standing above it, but if you're planning on getting water from Sultan Creek or running hydro and stuff, there is, in today's times, a good chance that creek might not have anything left in it, so. By allowing a cabin on 3.877 acres, are we setting a precedent? We have allowed like 4.8, 4.9 and stuff, but we've just barely pushed the edge on that one. Is there any way to push your cabin site even a little farther over to where it's just not visible from the road at all? Is that a possibility? I don't know. So that's my objections right now are the stick to our guns on 5 acres or more, and scenic quality is definitely going to be impacted regardless. And because you were going to build a log cabin though, which I think, right? Was it going to be a log cabin or going to be a
timber
house?
frame.
Timber frame, okay.
Yeah.
So that's my comments right now, guys.
Well, and good points. I think I've already addressed the CDOT BLM access as a condition.
Okay.
Okay. The hydro, it's a good, where the water right's gonna be on the Sultan Creek.
Ideally.
Okay, so when he
it's
files for that,
spring-fed.
he's got that hurdle to go through.
Were you gonna drill a well?
If I can't get surface water rights, then I would
You'd have to drill a well.
drill a well,
Right,
yeah, but I
right.
think with Spencer Basin and the springs up there feeding the creek, it does seem to run year round.
Okay.
And it's good, clean water. Aladdin's Lamp Hut was originally gonna be like a bottled water company site. So
Okay.
I'm looking forward to drinking good water.
You also, mentioned that we would follow water from county.
Okay.
So.
If the creek doesn't work.
All right. Do commissioners have any more questions for Isaiah? If you don't, Willie, do you have any more questions or concerns raised by the public or the applicant?
No, I think, I think it's, Pete's suggestion of adding the permits, to the conditions of approval. I mean, that's just kind of a standard condition, but I should have listed them anyway. So I think it's great to spell it out because, if he doesn't have access to this property.
And the water rights.
And
Well, the water right's not critical if he's all out of down.
No, that's true. I guess that wouldn't have to be one of them then, but the access definitely has to be.
If he's hauling from town, then he's got to adjust his water utility billing system with the town to pay for that.
Correct.
If he's doing everything on site, then he's not
Right.
paying for water from the town.
But the CDOT and BLM access is quite a hurdle, and you obviously gotta do that anyway, but I would, definitely list that as a condition.
I
The
don't
commissioners.
see the CDOT one being too bad since Skinner's Rock has got that pull out already, and then your road just kind of parallels that old fence line as it comes down, and I don't, people are already pulling off into that pull out anyway, so I don't see CDOT as being a problem. And BLM seems to give permission to anybody who asks, so I don't think that's gonna be a problem either.
Well, I have to strongly disagree with both those.
Well, no,
I mean,
they are,
extremely disagree.
they are
with that.
required,
See, that can be-
they are required by law to allow access to a private piece of property, so the BLM does okay everything.
It's
But sometimes it's one, yeah, sometimes it's
a
1 to
pro-
3 years.
It's
We've
a
seen it.
process, but they do okay everything. They do. They're required by, is that correct? Am I right on
I
that?
don't know, you're putting me on the spot, Scott, I'd have to look it up, but I do believe that they have to require.
They
access
have to
private-
provide
If
access.
if they don't have an alternative access.
Right.
Okay, all right.
So,
Sometimes they'll call the private landowners to try to talk to private landowners into letting someone cross private land. So they can avoid, because they have like blinders on with any impact to public lands.
sure.
But then the BLM federal government has to give legal access to somebody, but in rare cases, it could just be horse access.
Okay.
So,
But I,
rare.
cause we kind of went through that with the claim down canyon there and stuff, there was access across BLM lands, the trail, but as a last resort, but, if I remember though.
But not road access.
The law says you have to provide access to a landowner on any inholding, and it's like that guy that built up by wherever it was, Niagara, that was, even though there was sort of an existing road, there wasn't completely, and they allowed him access across, was it a
Right.
mile, Lisa, or something like that, of public lands?
2,200 feet, but it was only a couple hundred feet of new road.
Right, but the old road was pretty well reclaimed by nature, so well, I'm not gonna argue with that.
Yeah.
Sorry, just continuing, Will, you have any more questions for Isaiah?
I don't.
Isaiah, do you have any more questions for us?
I mean, I can address a couple of those things real quick.
Okay,
As far as the BLM road goes, they do have like a approved snowmobile access route for quite a bit of what I'm proposing as the road already, and they do like to do the like multiple uses and multiple approvals there. So really what I'm looking for is just like a little offshoot to my property from their approved snowmobile route.
I guess that brings up the question, are you gonna allow the snowmobile club to continue their traffic
sure.
across your driveway?
I mean, it helps me out. like,
Yeah, cause they're plowing it,
Totally.
or at least part of it, so.
Yeah, and yeah, I'm like whatever recreation and historical access has been used in that area, it doesn't go across my property, but it would be close and I'm more than happy to continue to have that happen. And I definitely hear you on the non-conforming lot size, like I don't want to like be breaking any rules that you guys have created. And I know that there's some solutions that I could, pursue to fix that, whether it's like a boundary readjustment with a light lamp or asking for more property, but at the same time, like, I'm gonna come back and be asking you guys the same thing to fail.
But I meant to bring that up. I'm glad you brought that up. Is there a way that a boundary adjustment could be done? And you're gonna have to make a deal with your adjacent property owners. By adjusting that, the problem I had with the present boundary is that it limited you as to where you're gonna put that cabin, but if your boundaries were pushed over a couple hundred feet, then it's gonna push it into the trees where there's no visibility. I mean, I was looking at,
The only folks that are responsive are the light lamp folks, and that gives me more. Basically, it doesn't really change
doesn't
the
change.
building site, but it would get me over 5 acres, and then I would still be asking you guys, can I build here?
Right. What about the junior warden people? Are they?
I just haven't gotten a response.
If you approach them, to say, I'll buy this little, can I even talk like this, Dennis? Am I allowed to say stuff like this? But can you approach them and say, well, something.
I definitely hear you, that,
Yeah.
that is a nice, like.
That's to me, that's a better building spot, because it's much more hidden in the trees, when I look at. Really this one, I mean, if you could get some of this area in here. If it's possible.
Theirs
maybe
comes in like right there, so I'd basically be getting like maybe a little bit of this.
Right, but that would be, that's what you can hide it better. I think, maybe.
A bit.
I don't
But
know.
I definitely
That went through my mind last night. Sorry, I'm dragging this on.
see you on that one.
Yeah, that is.
But I think for right now.
Not a bad
ask
suggestion.
about-
Okay, all right.
But
Well, let's keep
can't-
going, you guys.
Can't mandate it.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah,
No, but it is an idea. Okay, and even by doing that, then you've increased it to 5 acres, which,
Right.
okay.
but we're trying
Right.
to find more property, go through this process again.
I
Yeah.
know, Isaiah.
Uh,
Yes. Do you have any more responses to any of our concerns or anything like that?
No, I mean, I think that concerns are valid with the scenic quality for sure.
Okay.
I do wanna do my best and like try to find the tallest, most mature trees I possibly can to plant up there that'll actually grow up there. And hopefully if I have water rights, I can actually water them and encourage them to go instead of just
water
randomly,
in
like-
today's times of drought. So.
Yeah, but yeah, it's in both of our interests to not be seen by the highway.
Okay.
Like, yeah, I don't wanna look at the highway.
Yeah.
I also don't wanna like plant so many trees around my house that when fire does become more of a concern, then that becomes.
Plant them farther out at least.
Yeah.
If you don't have anything else, I think I'm gonna close the public hearing. Are you all set, Isaiah?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna close the public hearing. Commissioners, do you have any more discussion? My main beef is the smallness of the, it's below the 5 acres, and then scenic quality. It's my main two beefs. Everything else I think will fall into place.
I think, we discussed both scenic and, size quite a bit at the planning commission. To me, I was, curious, like, hey, is this gonna create some kind of precedent that we're gonna have, people storming the gates with, 3.5 acres to build on. And, I don't really see that happening. I don't think that there's a lot of these, kind of pre-existing mining claims that were smaller than 5 acres that are buildable that we're going to see, coming before us. And I think, based on some of the circumstances with this parcel, I don't see a huge red flag in granting a exemption based on our code with the non-conforming lots, predating the usage of and the square footage, the acreage regulations that we have in the county. And for the scenic thing, there was one other comment that was made at the planning commission, that our code is developed to protect view sheds, and they thought that this claim, based on it being lower than the highway, was still going to protect the view shed pretty well, but that's why they wanted to see additional story poles, was to ensure that the view shed is going to be protected. That's pretty much all I have.
All right. No, thanks for input, especially on the planning commission. Are you guys,
I just want to point out on the non-conforming, we do have language in our regulations that say, if there's a non-conforming lot prior to the issuance of, or the adoption of our land use code, then we do exempt it. But there's additional language and there's a cost about it being in subdivision. Question is this actually a form of subdivision when the mining claims were created? In the past, we've kind of,
I would argue
we
they
have-
are a subdivision.
uh,
I would argue mining claims are a subdivision.
Yeah.
Because they're less than 35 acres.
I think that argument could be made, and in fact, we have pretty much, at a minimum, there was recognition in, when the land use code was adopted, that there are properties that aren't gonna meet the minimum requirements, but we're not gonna penalize people because of new regulations as long as they can meet all of their conditions. And we have in fact, this is a little extreme.
Yes.
But I think we've gone down to this, and Lisa probably can correct me, like 4.2 or 4.3, something. We've done it.
The Aikens was 4.17 and it was broken into 2 or 3 parts. And all the little parts combined were 4.17.
Yeah, I was thinking we were down 4.2, so it's,
All right.
but no, it's valid question.
Where are we at?
Motion?
So we can make a motion to approve, you can approve with conditions or deny for cause or table it. So that's what I'm looking for right now.
I'll make a motion that we approve the land use improvement permit sketch plan application for development of a single family residential structure, driveway and associated utility improvements on the senior warden load USMS 13298 for Isaiah Branch Boyle with the conditions listed and the additional condition listed for BLM and CDOT access. Are there any other conditions that you guys are looking for?
The story pole one in those conditions?
It's in there.
Okay.
It's in there, yeah.
Okay.
It's gotta be in there.
Okay, looking for a second.
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Nay. Motion's passed, so now you may get with Willie and take the next steps.
The next is a preliminary final application.
With all those other,
Yes.
including.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Isaiah.
Yeah, thank you for your time.
Okay, we're a little bit behind. Our next one is our 10:30 appointment with George Riley. If you'd like to come up, that would be great, George.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
You guys are busy today.
A lot going on.
Gentlemen, can you hear me or no? Can you guys hear me? No?
We can hear you, Damon.
Oh, when should I come back on? Am I not up now?
No,
Yeah,
you're
we're doing George Riley's.
We're on another hearing. Let me just get my ducks in a row here and.
You want me to stay? I'll just stay on.
Similar to the planning commission, Damon, I think that these next applications might be a little quicker than the one we just discussed. So I think it would
Oh, no
probably
problem. I
be
don't mind
beneficial
waiting.
for
I
you to
just
stay.
didn't know if it was now
You
or
know
out.
that they will be.
Okay, thank you. Sorry to interrupt.
Thanks.
My bad.
Okay, we are here to look at a boundary line adjustment for Coal Ranch subdivision lots 1 and 2 from George Riley. Lot 1 is, and Willie, just go ahead and make your presentation.
So we have an application from George Riley for a boundary adjustment for lots 1 and 2 of Coal Ranch subdivision. And the boundary adjustment would also require an amendment to the Coal Ranch subdivision plat. Also an improvement permit for the applicant to construct continuation of this fence. This was reviewed by the planning commission. This is a preliminary / final. We had reviewed it previously the sketch plan. This was reviewed by the planning commission. They recommended approval. And basically, with the conditions listed in the back here. The Colorado license conveyor provided a survey with boundaries of lot 1 and lot 2 in the Coal Ranch. That's essentially been done. Second one, that they meet all the applicable requirements of our zoning code. The plat identifies the new parcels of lot 1A and lot 2A. Identifies right away from all county roads. The plat needs to be recorded with the clerk and recorder. The gate for the fence would be strictly functional to minimize visual impact. That the applicant acknowledge that any additional development of these lots will be require the individual improvement permit for each lot, plus any other additional stipulations. Julie and Todd Sams are, owners of lot 2, or sorry, lot 1, and they would be, basically, the boundary adjustment would be, everything on the, as you're going to Eureka, everything on the right-hand side would, lot 1 and 2 would be combined. Everything on the, Ed George Drive would be, have ownership of that. Everything on the left-hand side of the road of lot 1 would, be retained by, Todd and Julie Sams. And they are in agreement with, the proposed, boundary adjustment.
So it just makes George's property bigger on one side and Sam's property
Right,
bigger on the other side.
On the other side, and, yeah, I mean, the road is intersecting
Yeah.
their property anyway.
Yep. George, do you wanna put in your 2 cents worth or anything like that?
We've been on this journey and we're hopefully getting to the final steps today and
Sure.
we've met all the requirements that was required prior and looking for final approval unless there's anything else we need to do or any further questions.
Yep, right.
We did have one exception. I mentioned when at the planning commission, we asked if we could delete the other 2 landowners' signature on the
right.
recording the deed because they're not impacted. They've already approved all the processes. Just because it's a challenge to, send things to Denver, Phoenix, get them recorded, notarize it, send it back. It's very inconvenience. So the Sams and us can do it. We'll be, that was the only exception we had.
All right. Are there any comments from the public, and address those comments to the commissioners if there are any? I don't hear any. All right. I guess I can close public comment then, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Commissioners, do you have any questions of Willie or the applicant?
I don't, we've been through this.
Yeah, we've
I
already,
think this,
there have been no concerns raised, George, there aren't any concerns that we've raised, so I don't see how you would have any concerns, so. I'm willing to close. Austin, do you have anything more?
No, just want to agree with George that the requirement of mailing full Mylars for approval and signatures for folks whose property boundaries don't touch this parcel seems a little onerous.
Yeah, I agree.
Thank you.
Okay, I think I'm ready to, you guys ready to close public hearing? Austin, Pete?
Yep.
Okay, I'll close
Yes.
the public hearing. Any more discussion from the commissioners? Doesn't look like it, so I'll ask for a motion to approve with conditions, deny for cause or table.
I'd make a motion to approve the boundary line adjustment for Cole Ranch subdivision, lot 1 and lot 2.
Second, Austin?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That was easy.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, thank you, George.
Get out for lunch.
Okay, our next public hearing was scheduled for 10:45, so we're 30 minutes behind that. David Breed has submitted an improvement permit application for a cabin on the U Chief Load. Willie, do you want to give us the scoop? Hi, David.
Okay, so, David Breed has submitted an improvement permit.
Yeah, but I'm connected.
Okay.
And a permit application for the development of 1,000 square foot cabin, 200 square foot shed, and associated utility improvements on the U Chief Load. General Survey 18463. Property is located in Deer Park and would be accessed by County Road 33A. The property had been previously approved for the development of cabin. The improvement was never it never occurred. David Breed now has ownership and wants to move forward. He's in the mountain zoning district, meets the minimum requirements of setback and acreage. The applicant plans to haul water to the site, store in a cistern. install a septic system engineered by a Colorado licensed professional engineer, Dashwood, and has to be implemented with public health regulations. The proposed improvements are in a heavily forested area, should have minimal impact on adjoining property. And property owners have been notified and have not received any additional comments on them, or from them. The scenic quality report was included. It doesn't appear to have any historic significance when I visited the site. Out of the avalanche, the development is out of potential avalanche hazard zone. Cumulative impact report was also submitted. And the planning commission reviewed it, and their recommendation was to for approval with the conditions listed.
All right.
That's, I just want to point out that the driveway is interesting.
How so?
It's steep, but it's definitely a driveway. It's not one I drive every day with it. It gets you
You
there.
put that in, didn't you?
There's a reason for that.
Yeah.
It was, we have boundary, we have BLM boundaries on both sides.
Yeah, no, it's.
So we're, I mean,
Well, you have to stay within.
we
the
had,
lane.
that's why we had, yeah, hang on.
I mean,
I don't want to say too much, but that's why we had the county the surveyor keep us on track, so we were off BLM.
Yeah.
That's why it was,
You don't want to
it
do
is
that.
what it is, right?
As a driveway for an individual, it's like, that's, if they're happy with it, they're happy with it.
It already exists. It's not like.
Yeah, no, and they aren't asking
You
to,
put that in years ago, if I remember.
yeah, the driveway is pre-existing.
All right, David, any things that you would like to say about the project or anything like that?
No, it's, I think it's ready to roll for the septic and, it should, the driveway certainly is unusual. Try plowing it in February with a snowcat. It's, never dull. But it should be a pretty quick, operation to put in the septic, and then I think we'll go forward with the rest of it.
All right, I will make a comment that it's better to see you in a sweatshirt than a suit and tie. That makes me nervous if you're in a suit and tie, so.
That was funny to see that picture.
That was, you see, any Silverton resident in a suit and tie, sorry, I couldn't help it. All right, call for comments from the public, address those comments to the commissioners if there are any. All right, I'm not hearing any, so I will close the public comment. Commissioners, do you have any questions of Willie or the applicant? My only comment is I wish every single thing that came before us was as simple as this. This is it's just so straightforward. That's all I can say.
That would be the magic of Lisa.
Right. Willie, do you have any, if there's no more comments from the commissioners, Willie, do you have any concerns, issues?
I don't.
David, any concerns or issues? We haven't raised any, so I don't think you'll have to worry about that.
Not that I can think of.
Okay, I'm going to close the public hearing. Any more discussion from the commissioners? Hearing none, I would ask for a motion to approve with conditions denied for cause or table on the chief load.
I'll make a motion that we approve the improvement permit submitted for David Breed for the development of a 1,000 square foot cabin and 200 square foot shed and associated utility improvements on the Ute Chief Load MS 18463 with the conditions listed.
Okay, I'm looking for a second.
I'll second that.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, David, have at her. That was fine, correct?
Yeah, that's.
That was fine.
Okay, nice.
So David, I'll be getting you, I'll send you an email with the conditions of approval that you'll need to sign off on and have recorded with the clerk, and then you're ready to break ground. Nope, you're on mute.
You're muted, David.
There we go. Great. I'll look forward to that. I'll sign it and send it back.
Okay.
Okay, next appointment is David Rose. Sorry, we're running a little late, but actually we're doing pretty good right now.
Making up some time.
Yep. Will we go ahead and introduce our next agenda item, please?
Okay, so we have Damon Rose has submitted an improvement permit application for the development of a single family residential structure, driveway extension and associated utility improvements on the Hector Road, mineral survey 14327. The property is located southwest of Silverton between County Road 31 and US 550. There will be access from US 550. The property has a current total acreage of 17.94 acres. And
Hey, Willie, let me just interrupt you. We did a consolidation.
We're doing a consolidation.
That's right. Okay, thank you.
It's located in the mountain zone district. Meets the minimum square footage and setback. The hectare load itself is 6.84 acres. But he had agreed to a consolidation of his other claims up there, which brings us to 17.94. The proposed structure is approximately 4,200 square foot single story unit. The applicant will install an engineered and permitted septic system on site. He plans on using he used propane for cooking and as backup and for backup heating. Again, if the tanks are larger than 250 gallons, they are supposed to be buried if geologic conditions permit. He plans on installing 2 wood burning devices for heat source. Again, they need to meet the Environmental Protection Agency requirements. Have to have chimney cap or spark arrestor to minimize risk of wildfire.
Whose is that? I mean, the hall or what?
I don't know what it's coming.
The applicant has included a scenic quality report. It appears that the residents have been located to minimize the visual impact.
The phone in this room.
It's gotta be in a briefcase or something. What about the briefcase? Is something in somebody's briefcase?
Briefcase one?
Yeah, it's one of these. Whose are these? I don't know, did they accidentally leave them out there? I'll just take it out, they're not there.
That's it. 2 people left their phones?
Yeah.
There you go.
And a wallet. Oh my God, wish I'd found that first. It could be, was Bevan just there?
Yeah.
I bet it's Bevan.
All those are his 2 phones.
Yeah.
I'm gonna text him or something.
Sure.
No, she's got it.
Oh, she got it?
I think
Okay.
he could have it out here to.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Sam's.
All right, let's see, you're right below the wood burning device.
Yeah, about visual or scenic quality impact. The elevation of the building site was lowered by 5 feet to help minimize visual impact. There potentially good screening for the site, but because of the size, my concern is that, because of the size of the structure, that some of that screening, will have to be removed, in part just for the, construction and to meet fire safety issues. And I've discussed this with the applicant that, he may need to, plant, trees there to, replace that screening, if it's removed. As far as historic, review of the site, didn't appear to be anything there. I don't think it'll have any adverse impact on wildlife. He already has an access off of, and actually it's a very well done driveway off of US 550. He's constructing outside of the avalanche zone. He submitted his cumulative impact report. It'll need to be placed on the town's utility billing system for refuse. And the site was also reviewed by CDKP as part of our public health and environment, or our county ordinance concerning health and environment. The planning commission did review this at their last regular meeting, and they recommend to the commissioners that it be approved with the conditions listed in the staff report. And this is preliminary, final.
Okay. Damon, would you like to explain your project, address any issues or anything like that? Do you have any comments you'd like to make?
I don't have any, unless you have any questions for me.
Okay.
Happy to answer them.
All right, we may have a couple questions just a little later on, I think. I'm gonna ask for comments from the public, address those to the commissioners if there are any. All right, there are none, so I'm gonna close the public comment. Willie, there haven't been any issues or concerns brought up by the public or the applicant, so do you have anything more you want to add? I don't. Okay. Let's see, the applicant's not gonna have anything to respond to because we haven't asked any questions. Commissioners, do you have anything you like to say? Austin or Pete, do you have questions?
No, I don't. I mean, it's like the condition, the planning committee conditions look good, so I don't have any questions.
Okay. I'll just make a couple comments. One is that I really like the fact that we had a consolidation of claims because that keeps 3 trophy homes from going up there instead of just one. Yeah. As far as screening, we have to think about winter. Aspen trees don't count.
Yeah,
They do not count as screening. A great example is the trail up here, you don't see it in the summer, you see it totally, the Baker's Park thing in the winter.
And the fall.
Yep, so we want as much screening as possible. The question I had, Willie, is, it takes some of these trees probably 15, 20 years to grow. Who's checking to make sure the screening was done?
No,
20
that's just the agenda.
There's nobody's gonna check it. No, that's just a comment. I do like the fact that the roof height was lowered because this is a big impact building. It's a big building, big flat building. I don't understand why it was divided in 2 buildings, but that's the architect's thing. I am concerned about the sheer volume of windows that are facing Silverton. I like the fact, and I'd like to make a requirement of some type of tinted windows. I know Damon had kind of looked into that, but I think it should be a requirement. Otherwise, we're going to see a spaceship up there all winter with all those lights across. It's like that. that doctor's house above your ray, you see all those lights, way up on the mountain like that. We just don't want to see the house from here. This is a very scenic area and we don't want to see it. And I think lighting is its own form of pollution, so, I like the idea of tinted windows to where, we don't see your living room lights or dining room lights or anything like that. Can we make that a requirement, Willie?
You can, I mean, you might ask that, what your thoughts are.
Yeah, David, what are your thoughts on that as far as,
Yeah, that's no problem. I mean, we already will use 366 low E, and it's already got a pretty good tint on it. But I guess I could definitely provide you guys with samples of what we want to do, and you can just approve it. I don't know how we go about doing that, but I'm happy to put a tint on it. So that's no problem at all. And keep in mind, we're going to be out there maybe 2-3 months of the year, right? So you're not going to, most of the time the lights will be off. I mean, I know that's not, but we'll be happy to tint it. Yes, no problem at all. And I can get you samples.
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, it's a good idea. We can definitely do it.
Because otherwise it would be, even with the screening, it still would be pretty visible, so. But I know he's had meet our darkness, whatever you call it. Dark sky stuff and everything like that, so that's really all my, everything I had here was more comments, but I do like the idea to think.
Yeah, dark sky doesn't cover interior.
No, it doesn't, and that's, to me, that's a problem, because you can see it on Log Hill, you can see it, like the guy that built way, and of course, you're right, didn't do any skyline stuff hardly at all in some areas there, you can see those lights from a lot, so the less we see, I think the better. Any other comments from the commissioners? No. Okay, if nobody has any more comments, I'm gonna close this public hearing. If there's any more comments from the commissioners, I'm gonna ask for a motion to approve with conditions, denied for cause or table. Pete, Austin?
I'll make a motion that we approve the preliminary final plan for the Hector load with condition, Hector load USMS 14327 and Damon Rose's improvement permit application with the staff conditions as listed.
I'll second that.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion passed. All right, go to it, Damon.
Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Thank you, Damon.
Damon, what you'll get from me is an email with the acknowledgement of conditions that you'll need to have signed and then recorded with the county clerk's office, and then you're ready to get moving.
Fantastic. Thank you, guys. Thanks so much.
Okay, thank you.
All right, take care.
Okay, it is 11:30, so how about that? Well,
You're pretty good at this.
Because
Yeah.
because three of them were much easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did have a discussion on it.
Done the discussion on all those, so there really weren't that many questions. So Willie, we're going to look at resolution 2025-04, resolution of the San Juan County Board of County Commissioners implementing an immediate stage 2 fire ban. Do you want to, how much of this do you have to read, or what would you like to discuss? And here's Jim. I'd like to ask, I definitely want to hear from Jim.
Jim.
Yeah, come on up, Jim. Hi, Jim.
How are you all?
How's it going?
Good.
I'm so glad to see this on our table.
All right. So per the sheriff requesting a stage 2 fire ban. Main reasons are alignment with the U.S. Forest Service that went into stage 2 on Friday. And big reason is just to make enforcement much more
universal,
straightforward. And other main reasons are continued dry and hot. No monsoons have really materialized. Wildfires in the region, in particular, the Stoner Mesa fire is the one that's pushing all of the smoke over our direction. That fire is just today, they're transferring it from a type 3 to a type 1, so they're taking it, I mean, it's gonna be with us for quite a while. Rico is on our pre-evacuation, so they've just prepared the community.
How about Pagosa?
The Pagosa fire actually never, it was, potential to be really, really bad, but they were able to actually put it out. It's contained, it's not out yet, but it is contained, yeah. But they did have to issue evacuation orders, set up shelters. That certainly looked like it could have turned into a very, very bad.
Yeah.
And it's still not.
Houses are in the woods though.
Yeah, and it's still not like completely to
Look at the beetle kill around there, Scott.
Tons.
Yeah, so with the regional activity, there's essentially no reason to mess with things. So stage 2 is really the big thing, is no campfires, even in improved spots. So yeah, those are the reasons behind it. Fire index, all the fire indices are also saying you should be in stage 2. So the only thing I would suggest is a exemption, and just like I think we did on the stage 1, is an exemption for groups doing mining reclamation and who have to use welding equipment. And I would just, since stage 2 is so much more severe, that perhaps the county could come up with a temporary permit for while we're in the stage 2, so they could put something on their vehicle windows, so they just don't get, like, somebody doesn't come up and be like, hey, you're not allowed to do that. It's just very clear that
Just
they
for
have that.
just for the welding operation.
Welding extended, so you're talking about that we do require them to have ample fire extinguishers and everything else, and to have a permit.
Yeah, and just
right?
Just a
Talking about
suggestion.
mine closures where they're
Correct.
welding gates and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, and I would say just for mining reclamation personally, not
Not
if
anything
people
else.
are doing, essentially that really limits that to that activity.
So I did put in language, essentially the resolution is, the last time we did a stage 2 resolution, pretty much duplicate of that, but I've changed some language to mirror the Forest Service stage 2 resolution as well, so there were some minor changes. One of the things I did add as an exemption shall include persons, or we could change that to agencies with a written permit specifically authorizing otherwise prohibited act or omission, which we didn't have before, and that came out of Forest Service language. We did, when we were under stage 1, we did have a request for an exemption, and I pulled together after the comments from the fire chief and the fire marshal agreeing to it. I put together a quick permit that just requires the applicant has to explain what they're doing and what they're doing to mitigate the damage, and then we need the signature of the fire chief or the fire marshal on that. And so I think that would be relatively painless, but I think that would be probably the way, that would be the way I would recommend doing it.
I thought your language worked.
So this says you can operate a chainsaw, but you have to have a fire extinguisher with you.
Yeah, I haven't actually seen the exact wording for Willie's.
It just says you can operate a chainsaw, but you have
But
to
as
have
long as it has a spark arrest
spark arrestor
and
fire
then having extinguisher, yeah.
That still makes me nervous.
It's on with fire.
It is, okay.
Or
Okay, and then, I'll put the word "to" on this right here, Will, but not limited to chainsaw generators or. Well, okay. And then, what about, let's say cabin up on the Lackawanna and they got a fire in their wood stove, what's the protocol on that?
That I would, honestly, for town, we were allowing, or they approved allowing, wood stove with, some kind of, protection.
Or a pad or
But-
something like that.
I don't know, this is up really to the commissioners, but, my opinion is out of town, like,
We don't want
yeah, no.
anything that'll produce.
No, because I think even with, there's just not enough protection. So I would recommend, use of wood stoves
In the county.
in the county.
I
Just
agree.
another reason is sheriff will be driving by, Forest Service, BLM. They'll see smoke and they'll just,
You wanna know
Yeah.
whether that's lightning or wood
Yeah.
stove, and if there's no wood stoves, then you can assume it's lightning
Right.
generated.
and if the wood stove is unattended, no one's there, what do you do? It's break into the house and put it out. Not even break in, you're allowed, for law enforcement, would it be able to forcible entry, I guess? I would just personally say no in the county.
It does say coal and wood burning stove, open flame propane fire kits. And devices used.
There it is, right there, okay. Okay, so no coal, wood burning stove, okay. We don't want those burning out in that forest, especially that forest right now.
But just for town of Silverton, wood burning
okay.
stove is allowed.
Okay,
Our authority is just
right.
in the.
Out of.
Otherwise,
County. You in town, they're okay.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we wouldn't have golden block pizzas.
There you go.
I'm just.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, my other county, we did do if you're gonna do an exception to the fire ban, we did a financial assurances and indemnification agreement. And that sort of keeps folks that, how would I say this? Wouldn't have the resources to deal with the ramifications of a fire if it happened, sort of limits people. If Jim Smith comes in and wants to weld, and it doesn't have financial capabilities to the damages needed, something happens. Follow me? So if it's the feds or it's a large corporation or something like that, they can put in their letter request that they have financial, we have the financial wherewithal to deal with any fires that come up, and then we agree to indemnify and hold the county harmless for any damages resulting from our welding during the fire ban, something like that.
Okay.
And that way, if
Especially if we had given them permission, yeah.
exactly what, and so.
One of the things that we did require with the one or state one was that they had to demonstrate proof of insurance.
Yeah, exactly. So I like that, and I do like the indemnification too. We have our insurance as well, but I mean, if we can have somebody else's insurance pay if somebody says we shouldn't have left them well or something. We can talk about that tomorrow if you want some.
And then ultimately it's gonna come down to Bruce.
Yeah.
Or Gilbert being. Comfortable with that happening and so they're not gonna be comfortable with a whole lot.
Well, and it gives us the latitude to say you can and you can't, and here's why.
Yeah.
Rather than us just
Right.
looking at someone saying, nope, yes. It's because you don't have the financial wherewithal to handle the damages resulting from it.
Actually, one of the conditions that we put in on this last one was that. Fire truck had to be there and manned and they would pick up those costs.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah, like we did Kinder Morgan had to indemnify us and show financial responsibility, so. But if somebody was out there wanting to weld their horse gate, we said no.
Yeah.
I have
Nothing against horses.
Yeah.
several questions, When does this go into effect, like midnight tonight or right now?
I'd say right now.
Okay.
That's what I recommend.
Okay, the other thing is, how do you notify the public?
So we do have a
Excellent.
public information strategy. Once it's approved, we'll start.
I'd start putting signs in every shop window.
Yeah.
We'll post it on our website.
This is just one of my things, but many of the restaurant staff and many of these restaurants are smokers. They're always out in the alleys smoking. How are we gonna get it across to them, and how are you gonna get it across to our Hispanic population that they cannot smoke in the back alley?
Yeah, so we will have bilingual signage, and we've had to do the no smoking with the stage 2 before, so it'll be the same thing, but it'll be a big communication lift. And Deanne Gallegos will be, she's ready to go once decision is made by you all.
I remember getting into it with a out-of-town firefighter once that was smoking outside the Golden Block. And it says, we're in stage 2. And he says, I'm a firefighter. I know what I'm doing. I said, no, you don't. Put it out. Yeah, but that's my biggest thing, is just getting it across to all these people, because that's one of my big fears. They're gonna flick a butt right in the grass, right next to one of the propane tanks, and we're history.
Yeah.
That's all it would take. So we definitely have to get that out there to the public. Will it be on the sign too, the signs, everything?
Yeah, the sign that we've got to see that sign out right now. It says fire restrictions.
Okay.
I think just that to me is enough. People will then see the stage 2 and what that requires.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where's the BLM in all this?
BLM, I've been attempting to contact them, have not gotten a call back from so perhaps that may be a commissioner call.
Do you want to make a call to John and say, we've gone into stage 2, Forest Service stage 2, we think we should too?
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be universal right now.
Yeah. And that's what we've tried to
Kirsten,
do.
do you have a question?
No, Lisa says stage 2 on Friday.
Oh, great.
For
BLM.
Okay.
Oh, good, okay. All right.
That must have been today.
Okay, all right, thank you. No, I think it's a really good idea considering what's happening all around us and could happen here.
Yeah, and Uray County went in to stage 2 yesterday.
Yesterday.
Yeah, and I don't know all the other counties that have done it, but everybody is moving in that direction.
Have to.
Yes.
We don't need human factors when Mother Nature is doing a really good job of messing things up right now, so.
And Willie, if I know Bruce and Gilbert can sometimes be hard to get a hold of, so if you wanted to add my name to the permit, I can at least facilitate getting a hold of them. So, but all that does, it's the fire marshal and fire chief, they'll have final say.
Okay. Any more discussion with commissioners? Austin?
I have a question for.
Okay.
Are you piggybacking off the original ordinance you did way back when you
2018,
when you do an ordinance as opposed to resolution? You know what I'm saying?
You think this needs to be an ordinance?
Well, the statute calls it an ordinance. 3015-401 and 5.
Isn't
And
an
then
ordinance
what
permanent?
And then what
Resolution is not?
And then what typically happens is you do the ordinance and then the ordinance says the sheriff for fire warden each year has the ability to declare it, and then statute says and then within a certain number of days, the board basically approves it.
Yeah, this has the power to adopt an ordinance to ban open fires to green amendment as it be necessary to reduce the.
And I think you probably did an ordinance that allows you to declare fire bans. Do we need to take a closer look at that?
I think
let's go ahead with
let's
this.
do this and then
Yeah. And then you and I will talk tomorrow about whether we need to take some remedial action or future action.
But thanks for bringing that up. Anything else, you guys? All right, I'm looking for a motion to approve resolution 2025-04.
I'll make that motion, resolution, the San Juan County Board of Commissioners implementing an immediate stage 2 fire 2025.04.
Second, Austin.
I'll second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
I'm sorry we're at this point that we have to do this, but we have to.
Austin, are you okay with this using your stamp, to sign this?
Sure. Yeah, of course.
All right, we have, whoops, there we go. Okay, we have before us a draft resolution 2025-05. Okay, I'm sorry.
Kristen, did we answer
Yeah.
everything that you needed?
Yeah, the only question we have is, you know, I'll provide you a memo with our plans and pictures of every site as part of the exemption, and then figure it out from there. And then, the state won't be able to indemnify, that's a non-starter for us.
Yeah.
That's, as long as,
We can,
okay,
we just won't tell the attorney.
okay.
I'm just impressed she knows, I'm impressed that she knows the state can't indemnify this.
All my bosses do.
Conversation with people probably like, you know, once a month, we can
Yeah.
indemnify you, and so I'm glad you know that.
Okay, thanks.
Yep.
All right, thank you.
All right,
Yeah.
thank you all.
We have before us the draft resolution 2025-05. Resolution authorizing the election on the question whether to permit San Juan County to collect, retain, and expend revenues collected from property taxes in excess of the 5.25% limit imposed by state law. Willie, what you got?
So basically, the new state statute limits, how much we can increase, property tax revenue every year, and it's limited, now at 5.25%. We have previously debruced, those requirements, so that, you know, we could retain anything that was collected.
They also did it once before.
We did, yeah. We debruced all.
They did a 5.5% cap on some real property. Things, and that was DeBruce as well.
So essentially what would happen is, if we don't debruce, or if we do, or debruce, if we put this measure on the ballot, if we don't, it'll probably cost us we'll lose about $75,000.
Wow.
I mean, that's what, without limitation, we can collect another $75,000 in property tax. That doesn't mean that we would, but that we could. And then,
Doesn't that also depend on what the ultimate assessment rate is,
Mhm.
which they haven't told Kim yet?
there's that, and that's part, I mean, this is
so dumb.
this is best guess
Yeah.
scenario, and you know, trying to work with Kim and talking to Kim, and it's like, you know, well, Dole will have a number for you end of August or middle of September, and it's like, that's great. We've missed our deadlines to put it on the ballot by then.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's what's such a good idea about doing this resolution now, is we have it in place in case we need it.
We have to, and we've got it as a draft right now, and this gives us some more time to kick it around and boot it. We would bring it to you at the next regular meeting, because we have to have it to the clerk by September 5th, I believe is the drop dead date.
Are you looking just for a consensus to go ahead with the final resolution?
Can I? Do you mind?
No, go ahead.
So, you know, this one has really been a tough one to deal with all the different counties, and I have been in constant communication with a couple counties, and I think the majority of counties have just said, we're gonna wait, we're gonna wait and see how this shakes out this year and do something next year. There's a few counties and a lot of special districts and metro districts that just went ahead and did this. But I just wanted to let you know that there's a little bit of a split. Most entities most entities seem to be saying the bare bones minimum to opt out of this 5.25% is all you need. And what has been drafted here is probably much more. The language of the ballot measure is probably much more than what is actually needed to opt out. But, Willie and Willie drafted it initially and then I put some things in there, and frankly, what we talked about was, it's up to you guys as to whether we want to keep it bare bones and just have a one line. Sorry, I'm looking for I lost my reading of it. Whether we want to keep a one line, or if we wanted to put some meat in it. So for example, let me just tell you that the statute itself, to opt out of the 5.25% cap, just says you have to use the following language. Shall San Juan County waive the 5.25% property tax limit property tax years as provided for in section 29.1 1704 Colorado Revised Statutes, period. That's really the only thing you have to put on the ballot. And at least half, if not the majority of attorneys, say that's all you need to do. If you've already debruced previously, which we have. But you put that in there and someone reads the ballot and they go, what the heck is this? And so the idea here is, do you guys want to include the additional language that would be on the ballot? With such waiver not to be construed as increasing tax rates, mill levies, or additional new taxes of any kind, or changing the purpose of the mill levy. And then that puts in everything we use taxes for. And then it also has an additional sort of a boot and suspenders debrucing in there again. Yeah, so that was the discussion today. Do you want to keep a one line thing in there where people aren't really going to know what it is? Or would you rather have a full paragraph on the ballot question that sort of goes into it a little bit more, and also frankly sells it a little bit as a, we're not adding taxes, we're not increasing the mill levy.
We've already collected the tax.
Yeah, we're just business as usual. And then there's a lot of language in the resolution that also talks about that, continuing to do what they're doing now, continuing to, stuff like that. Just making sure people understand that this is a new statute that's been enacted and doesn't take into account all the expenses that have increased the county for unfunded mandates, the inflation that's occurred and everything else. Do you like it like this, or would you rather pare it down to the bare minimum? And that's more of a strategy question, policy question for you guys.
I think you want to at least give them a little explanation of what you're doing, and why you're doing it. I mean, because if you have just one sentence, I mean, you're hoping that the voter has done a little bit of research too.
Yeah, and they don't just say, I don't understand that, no. Or maybe I don't understand that, yes.
Yes.
That's where your strategy comes
That's
in.
like was one of our OHV ballots. When I voted yes or no, or whenever I voted, I still didn't know how I voted.
Yeah,
It was, the wording was so complicated.
Paragraph is better than a sentence.
Yeah.
And then the last thing on this is this was originally drafted probably from the prior sales tax. And it has a publication 4 times provision in there, which I don't think is necessary by this, but by the same token, it's not a bad idea to publish it 4 times anyway. To have people, and that way, people can come up to you guys on the street and say, hey, what is that?
Right.
Um,
And
so-
then simplified, the state wants to limit how much tax revenue we can keep, and we want to keep the tax revenue because there's so much more we can do with that tax revenue. So that's what I would say to the public.
Yeah, but I mean, the question is, you wanna have it in here that you'll publish it 4 times. William and I talked about that. It's probably not legally required, but it's probably strategically a good thing.
I agree.
Cause you guys like, you know, answer questions before the election, and you're not allowed to sort of campaign for the passage of a provision, but you can answer the questions of the public, so it invites people to ask you questions.
Sure.
And, I mean, budget wise, I think we're in a pretty good position right now, so it's not a critical thing, but, and it's kind of funny because I put together the original draft and kind of beat up on the feds and the state a little bit, and then Dennis took a hold of it and piled on a little more.
It did.
But it's true, I mean,
Yeah.
we're entering a time where everything is gonna roll downhill and we're gonna get hit with it.
Well, and I was thinking about this as I was driving up here. Okay, so you're gonna cap it at 5.25%. I don't know what the true inflation rate is right now, but we all know we had 9% inflation one year, and that was a conservative estimate at 9%. So
considering what's happening,
and then these
right now, I think inflation is going to go up.
well, and then the unfunded mandates are off the charts. I mean, it's the most popular topic right now in the county attorney listserv is these unfunded mandates. And it's crazy. And you can't tell me that the county is going to keep up with these unfunded mandates at a 5.25%.
Yeah,
Doesn't help at all.
at the last COG meeting, which was after our Region 9, we combined with Region 9. That was the conversation from both municipalities and county. It's like, we're tired of this. It's time to push back.
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea.
So, but yeah, I mean, we look at what's happened, on the federal level as far as the land agencies go. And in order to function, it's gonna cost us more. I mean, the governor called a special session, basically, crying about what the Fed budget is doing to the state, but they had no qualms year before, putting these limits on us and what those impacts are gonna be on the local government. And a lot of special improvement districts, fire districts and stuff, it hits them hard because that's their only revenue source.
Right.
Yeah.
I
So I think the options for you guys are, and I told Kim that they would not approve this, the board would not approve this today because she wanted to talk to you a little bit more.
Okay.
If that's okay with the board.
You don't need any action.
Just consensus to continue.
Just take it with you and then it'll be on the agenda for the next meeting for possible.
Or if, I mean, if you're comfortable, I mean, if we wanna pursue it, if you guys just feel like this isn't the time to do it and you wanna back off on it, that's fine too. But if you have, the ballot question itself, if you wanna do it the one sentence or, minimize that, just let us know. Otherwise, if you're good with what's in there or something similar, let us know.
Take a little more information than just one sentence.
Yeah.
All right.
So you'll put it on the agenda for the next meeting and then maybe you and I'll go over it once more before then and if there's any cleanup on it, Willie, how's that? And then you guys can decide. And again, you don't have to do it. I did talk to Kim and she said, ran into her before, she said she's not entirely clear how much it's gonna impact. It might be even less than that, and she was gonna talk to you about it more. So I just thought rather than be rushed today, give Kim a chance to talk with Willie and take one last look at it. And then this is, the 70,000 is based upon what Kim thinks is the highest assessment rate, which is what she thinks the state's gonna do, but good luck with guessing. If they came in at the lower assessment rate, then you're probably not impacted. But it's still not a bad year to do it anyway.
All right. Is that end of discussion then for now on that?
Yeah, I mean, if you guys are good.
Yeah, yep. Quick question, Pete and Austin, I think we can get rid of the new business and stuff pretty fast if you wanna finish up this meeting. In the next, say.
We still have seat out at 1:30.
At 1:30, but we could finish up the rest of our stuff on the agenda here.
There you go.
Are you guys up for that?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, yeah, before you, the 2025 sales tax report, Willie, things looking all right?
Yeah, you know, lodging tax is floating at about 10% lower than the normal, but sales tax is.
It's up a little bit not by a lot, but about 3%, it looks like.
Yeah.
Yep, county sales tax up 9.6 there, so, no, I looked at my July figures and they're just the same as last year's.
Really?
Yep, right, within a couple $100.
That's good.
Yep.
That is good.
Yep. We have a treasurer's report. Any questions on the treasurer's report? Peter, Austin? Willie? you feel-
I don't.
Are any balance looking pretty good and everything?
Balances are good.
Okay, all right. Willie did give us just several things for your reading on the Gold King spill, the flume collapse on Cascade Creek. That's just more reading. Baker's Park is gonna have their celebration on the 23rd. So that's definitely, Austin, it makes the most sense to me that county commissioner does make comments at the celebration. And I think you should do it since you've been such a big push behind the actual Baker's Park project. I think he would be the best to do the comments.
Yeah, I've been talking with Clem about it, and I'm on board. So yeah, I'll be there for the 23rd, and we'll say some nice words and talk about how much the county's pitched in for this. So
Yeah, definitely put the county's 2 cents worth in there for sure.
For sure.
I just got an email from CCI. They're holding their Western District meeting in Delta on Friday, August 22nd. They're doing a tour of the Garnet Lake solar project at 8 o'clock. And then at 10 o'clock, the meeting starts.
All right.
And they'll provide lunch. 10 to 2.
I don't have time to Austin, can you do that?
Yeah, I'd like to go to that one if I can.
Give me the date on that again.
Friday, the August 22nd.
And where?
Delta. At the,
Ooh,
I'll give you a copy of this.
okay, thank you.
The Grove of 970 Main Street, but I'll give you a copy.
And that's in the morning? In the morning, Delta?
Yes.
It's for the district meeting. I'm assuming it'll probably go all day, but I don't know. I'll see what I can scare up for the agenda for that meeting here and send it your way, Pete.
Okay. That is gonna be a little tough for me right now. I've just lost a
Little short-handed.
short-handed right
I
now.
would suspect or. Yep. Sorry to hear about
The
that.
rest of the season, yeah.
I think we're at the point where we can ask for a public comment. Is there any public comment out there?
Oh, do
Deanna Skyler.
Yeah. Not hearing any, I'll close public comment. Commissioner and staff reports. Austin, you got anything?
I just had one thing to get from you guys. I got an email this morning from George Niederauer. They're looking for another letter of support. They were close, but didn't quite make the final cut for the last letter of support that we gave for them. And we're looking to see if we could re-up because they were encouraged reapply.
Okay,
What's that for?
probably, work
Historical?
on the engine house.
Okay.
Would be my guess, if George is involved.
Yeah.
Yep, or it could be, restoration, you know, like of a box car. Did he say what it was for, Austin?
I'm pulling it up right now here. For the rail cars, the Silverton Railroad Baggage Car 5 and the Durango and Rio Grande Express 150.
Okay.
And if you guys want, I can either send a link to you guys or post it up here. But they gave us a sample to follow along with. And but yeah, we've already written a letter of support. They're just asking us if we can get it again, if we can do it again.
Okay,
Let me clarify, is this the Durango historical
in combination with.
combination? Okay, so it doesn't seem like it's Silverton historical.
Yeah, no, it's.
No, we've, it's the guys that did the railroad museum down here.
I know exactly who it is.
We've provided them with letters of support.
Okay, good
from
enough.
Day one, both the town and the county is.
Good enough.
Yeah.
I'll clarify a little further here. It's the Durango Railroad Historical Society, so it's not the Durango Historical Society. It's the
Durango
Railroad
Railroad
Historical.
Railroad.
So yeah, the
DRHS.
same folks. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, if you guys are okay with that, I'll send him a letter back that it's fine to use that same. He sent me a letter and I'll forward it on to you guys too. But with my signature and everything already on it, he just wanted confirmation he could use it again. And I said, you know, we're having a meeting today. I'll ask the other commissioners to make sure it's okay.
That'd be great.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that's all I got.
In that same note, did you get that letter asking for support from Tamara Gouldy on Crystal Lake?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I'm glad you brought that up. I didn't get it on the agenda.
Okay.
Basically, what do you want to go ahead?
Well, County Array wants to take possession of Crystal Lake up in Ironton. That would be from Forest probably, right? And they're looking for letters of support of doing that. I would like to see Crystal Lake put back in. You know, they drained the lake and they're worried about and City Array would like to use it not only as for water storage, but also for a great example was that fire below the riverside. If they had been able to dip those buckets in Crystal Lake, they could have got that thing hit it pretty hard.
Wasn't one of the reasons it was drained because they were afraid of overflow?
I thought it was something with the dam or something.
Yeah.
And then they did work and they filled it up and then they drained it again and.
Yeah, but
it's always been kind of convoluted.
A councilwoman from Uray contacted me, Tamara Gouldy, if we would, they're looking for letter of support from surrounding areas for the restoration of Crystal Lake, and I have no problems with that.
I don't either.
That's that was a huge attraction. Everybody stopped it.
It makes a beautiful site.
It is,
Right.
So I
drained is.
so I guess, can we just direct Willie to send a letter? Of support?
Yeah.
Consensus.
Okay, Austin, are you okay with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, all right. Okay, we did try to meet with Senator Bennett on Tuesday, the 5th. And it fell through because of the double fatality over on Red Mountain closing the road. They had to go around, and it's too bad, but we are going to try again to meet with the senator virtually on the 21st. Essentially, he wants to talk Superfund and EPA and our different things, and I had already kind of wrote out a whole list of things I wanted to talk to him about and stuff like that. So
Good.
I'm sorry we missed him because it's a rare opportunity to get to speak in person with a U.S. senator. So. But we are going to get to speak with him on the 21st. I think Anthony and Willie and I will be there to do that. Let's see, we had a meeting with EPA on the 6th, definitely just discussing things that we've already talked about. You know, the repository, where are you guys going? What's your timeline? Are you going to build a plant? Where are you at with remedial investigation and the actual feasibility study that takes all the data that lets you make a decision? So we just kept hitting them with all these questions. And I felt like we were getting some answers, but it's gonna take forever.
Yeah.
That's all I can say is, and you saw that article in the Herald, the last comment on it was, it's just gonna take patience to deal with this, cause it ain't going fast, it's not going to. I'm really disappointed, we did bring it up, I brought it up today, is that I think this mobilization at the end of the season is not a very good idea, they should have just.
And I didn't wanna say anything, but when she said, well, now we'll probably have to take Labor Day off, it's like.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, just keep-
Please, that's almost an insult.
Keep at it,
Yeah, take that off, cause you don't wanna get,
I think they're worried about because it's a
Well,
busy weekend and there's some
cares?
events, but let's
Get
just.
your
let's just keep
stuff
it-
prepared now. You
Yeah.
can do it before Labor Day.
And what I told them, if you're working on the pond, you're fine. If you're,
Right.
if you've got trucks hauling gravel, probably not a good thing because you're gonna have,
Right.
stop.
Put a hiatus on the gravel for that weekend,
Yeah.
but get your stuff mobilized now.
Get your crews working on that.
I mean-
And the thing is, they just gave the contract out, he's not gonna get mobilized for another couple, they said end of the month, so now we got. September, if it snows in October, that's it,
Well, exactly.
And,
They're
and
talking-
you know, as a contractor, the cost of mobilization, especially. on
And
something this big.
demobilization.
Yeah, and you gotta haul it all in, you gotta, just do it one time
It's,
instead of, now we've gone from a
more
two-year
than-
project.
more than tough to take on that.
4-year project, and that's probably worth, I don't know, I just. Part of it's just politics, part of it's, I don't know.
But I do think, Scott, when you, in your planning group, and I appreciate you guys being there, is, okay, we had a barbecue, like I said, and you said it was gonna be done this year.
Yeah,
Okay, so that, you've gone against that, and whatever, and here's the whole thing, and awarding the contract, it's the same guys who were doing it last year, you guys notice that?
yeah,
That same outfit.
Yep.
No difference.
Yep.
Okay, and then Army Corps is some guy out of Omaha, okay? I won't go any further than that with that, but, all right, but, that's fine. The bottom line is, okay, can we finally put, and they hate deadlines, but in the private sector, we work with them all the time. Can you honestly say, this will be done next year? To me, I think it needs to be answered.
and they
They've gone into a 2-year.
They certainly couldn't answer it this year, I mean, especially.
Well, no, it's not gonna happen this year, but I mean, the bottom line is, to me, we should be asking them as a county, yeah, is this gonna be done next year?
Yeah, it just keeps going on and on,
Well, you gotta nip it at some point.
and you think of the cost.
Sorry, it's kind of a sore point with me.
Well, I mean, if you do a 2-year project, you have, let's say, $20 million, but because you've done a 4-year project, now it's up to 30 million or 40 million,
It's way out of,
double.
it's way off the
cost.
chart, it's way off the chart.
No, it's unfair to the taxpayer.
It is.
So we brought up a lot of points and hopefully, I don't know if we'll get answers, but this is just a slow process.
Yeah, I'm glad you're bringing them up,
Little
though.
investigation to that. And then this has been, incredibly busy and stressful 2 weeks for me, as it has been for you. Katie had twins.
Healthy and happy.
Yep.
There you go.
Unfortunately, Katie was hospitalized with complications for the last 2 or 3 days.
Ooh.
And incredibly stressful. And then we had the big brass band weekend, and then the week before that, my youngest got married. So just boom, 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 boom.
These are things you can handle, stuff.
I can handle.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
It's just been stressful.
Part of the stressful life.
Yeah, but I'm thrilled. I have twin granddaughters, so I'm excited.
There you go.
Pete, did you have any meetings?
AAA meeting, it was a little stressful about the rack board. I won't go into detail on that until our next board meeting coming up. We will finally decide on a director. That's been slow
Wow,
going,
that's been a long
and
time.
right. So at that point, I can report back that we have a new director and we're starting to move forward again with AAA.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I got. Yeah,
Nice.
sorry.
Anything else, you guys?
Yeah.
I think we're ready to adjourn at 12:20. We will reconvene here at 1:30. Pete, I would like to walk across the street with CDOT this time and.
I think I'm gonna be here.
Oh, they're not.
There's
Ah.
But I,
Well, we can bring it up.
I told them, they asked me what questions we might have, and I said,
The bridge.
have a main.
Number one question,
Come look at the bridge, because that's gonna be your big.
with one of your inspectors,
I'm not
your
an
guys,
I'm
your
not an
engineer.
engineer, but we could look and see something's wrong there, so.
Well, you can almost squeeze a body in between the abutments and the,
Yeah, and you look at the weight of the trucks.
yeah, we're not engineers,
Going
but
over that bridge, it's not helping it, so. So, all right, so we'll see you guys back.
they're not gonna be here, huh?
It's a Zoom meeting.
Sure.
Every other year they gonna do in person.
Okay.
Okay, see everybody at 1:30.
Okay.
Okay.